Yeah.
No, I'm going to cut it out. I will make sure that gets cut out. Guys, so here we go. So this, I'm so sorry. This is the start of the show. There we go, everybody. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Absolutely nothing to see here. David Turner's is going to set it up if there's room. You know there is, buddy. You absolutely know there is. Absolutely nothing happened there. This is the beginning of the show. If you're listening to the podcast, you're watching the video, welcome. This is the beginning of the show. Nothing has happened before this. God, that's a first. That's how tired I am. That's how tired I am. I'm letting our secrets slip. Jeez, man, that's how exhausted I am these days. So, yes, been playing some VR. Not today. Today has been a worky day.
Are you going to put me on the screen, or is it just you now?
Oh God! Look. I just honestly, I'm so out of it today. I'm so out of it. Ah, dearie me.
This happens. I've been doing stupid stuff recently. What did I do?
You've been working
just
on
a load
Patreon
of stupid
for 6
stuff.
months. That's stupid.
Yeah, what did I do? It was really ridiculous. Oh, I did something like... Oh, I know what I did. So last Thursday, I was particularly tired, I think. But I also think there's a little bit of maybe post-COVID brain or something going frazzled. Anyway, so I knew I had to take little one first, pick her up from school because she was doing like a play rehearsal, so she was a bit late. And then at 7:30, I have to take her to guides, right?
Yeah.
Easy, you think.
Why are they called guides?
Same as scouts, isn't it?
Well, no, it isn't, because scouts go scouting. What do guides do? You go
They
this
guide you.
way, please.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just down there on the left.
It's the softer, more feminine, gentle version of scouting.
That's a shit thing. Scouting is like...
foraging.
Scouting for girls is the worst name. Okay, let's play. We'll come back to your story in a second. I want to play bad band name poker, right? So it's got to be, each one's got to be progressively worse. I'll start. Scouting for girls. It's a tough. That's low already.
I've got one. Mind you, am I merging the fact that they are lame with a lame name?
Okay, let's see.
The Lighthouse Family.
I think that's quite a good name for a band.
I think it's shit.
Whoa. Okay. All right. We'll take it. It's early rounds. So, Scouting for Girls, Lighthouse Family. All right. Controversial. Panic at the Disco. Panic exclamation mark at the disco. Isn't that how it's written, I think?
All right. Well, here's one. But, and I love them. I think they're a lot of fun, and they were the soundtrack to some great times.
Yeah.
Silly times. The Venga Boys. Because,
what does Venga mean?
Come.
Sorry? It means come. Are you joking? Why did we not know this back in the day?
Venir is the verb, and venga is the order. Come.
As in ejaculate. The Cum Boys.
Well.
That was mine and David's nickname at the weekend.
The Venga Boys. Imagine the Venga bus. A whole bus of it.
Oh, the Venga bus is coming. Is that the song? Have we discovered something? Was it the song the Venga bus is coming
and everybody's jumping.
Right. Well, that's where they got the
try and get out of the way.
That's where they got the idea for Fortnite from, the Venga bus. Everybody's jumping. So hang on, right? So the Venga means come. So they're called the Cum Boys. Why was this never known?
This is the reason. This is the perk of being the only kid in the sixth form Spanish class. It was a joke just for me. Thanks,
Wow.
Venga Boys. I appreciate it.
Okay. The Cum Boys.
Yeah, Cum Boys.
Okay, right. Can I beat the Venga Boys?
Well,
Steady.
what?
Steady, everybody. Calm down, everybody. By the way, if you've just joined, the first 10 minutes of this is going to be cut off. You'll never know why. But the first 10 minutes of this show does not exist. It's not canon. All right. Hang on. Bruno Mars.
What's his name?
What?
It's his name.
That's a fella.
Yes.
I thought it was a band.
No, mate.
Fuck. Really?
Yes.
He is so shit, right? Because he's now trying to make himself out like a horny. He's trying to be like Marvin Gaye all the time,
He was
like
always
sexy.
a little horn dog.
But he's so tiny. Tiny people cannot be sexy.
Well, that's not true. Prince was very sexy and he was tiny.
Voice of the Beehive.
No, I won't have that.
Great band. Terrible name. Terrible name. Actually, there's loads. Squeeze. Squeeze is a terrible name, right?
Squeeze. What about Hole?
I saw Hole live at the Brixton Academy once. That was a.
With any cop?
Oh,
'Cause
right.
I don't know whether that was not just, like punk was shit
Yes.
on purpose,
Yes.
right?
Well.
Some of those bands a bit shit on purpose.
I don't think they would shit on purpose. I think that they would. Hole was not very good.
But the attitude and everything else was the point, right?
Well, no. The thing with Hole was, of course, Kurt Cobain. The association with Kurt Cobain. That's why Hole were able to play at Brixton Academy. They certainly weren't worthy of Brixton Academy, but that's Kurt Cobain, Brixton Academy, isn't it?
That's what you get.
That's what you get when you murder your husband. When your husband kills himself.
Hole. What are you going to call your band? Hole.
But that means
Imagine the family dinners. So what's your band called again, Courtney? Hole.
But she's talking about her vagina.
Yeah.
Right? That's women taking ownership of their sexual bodily parts.
Yeah, I mean, it was right. It was a reaction to a very kind of butch industry, but the same as L7, they were talking about being lesbians, weren't they? That was what the L stood for, right?
There were 7 lesbians in
I
the
don't know if
bed,
there were
and
7
the
of them.
little one said, "Roll over." That's a weird song, right? Who the fuck are these? Who's in the bed? I always thought they were bears in the bed.
Really? Why?
Was it specified? I used to think that little one, that last one, that little shit at the end who gets the whole bed to himself.
But have you ever had a toddler in your bed? It's exactly what happens.
They
end up all starfished, and you've got one parent gripping onto one side and one parent to the other.
There were 8 in the bed, and the little one said, "Roll over, roll over." So they all rolled over, and one fell out. What's the next bit?
Just goes there. We're sick. Then it goes.
No, isn't there another bit? There were 8 in the bed, and the little one
when you
said,
went
"Roll
to
over."
Brownies and Guides, it was hit the ground and gave a shout. Please remember to tie a knot in your pajamas. Single
What?
beds were only made for 1, 2, and then you go back up to the number.
What the fudge is this?
Yeah.
There's a 12-inch remix of 8 in the bed.
There is, yeah.
But okay, well, because I'm sure I remember a line, but I can't think what it is. There were 8 in the bed, and the little one said, list songs. I hate list songs. Roll over, roll over. So they all rolled over, and one fell out.
But you know what list songs are for?
For idiots.
Keeping kids occupied on long car journeys before there was any kind of device to lock them
Never kept
into.
me occupied. It made me rebellious. It made me hate my parents. Made me plan the death of my parents.
It's from the same parenting
one down, one more
guide.
to go.
It's from the same parenting guide as bloody I Spy. And
Oh,
all
I
those
Spy!
shit endless games.
When I used to play I Spy with my kids when they were a little bit younger, you'd be doing it, and they'd go, "I spy with my eye like something beginning with A." You go,
Yeah.
Apple, and it ended up it would be a car.
That was Kim.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, a car, a tree. That was. So some people are saying they remember your version.
Yeah.
I don't. I remember something different, and they all ran. One fell out, and one fell out, and they all gave a. There's something else that should be in there. I do not adhere to your version of events in the crowded bed. I am old enough to remember. We talk about stuff in the car when no one wore seatbelts.
Nope.
No one. Cars certainly didn't have seatbelts in the back. They didn't all have seatbelts in the front. No one wore seatbelts. We did in my dad's. I guess it's a Ford Princess. We didn't have a tape deck, so
Austin Princess, right?
Maybe, yeah, Austin.
I think that was my parents' wedding car.
It was a posh car. Princess was a posh car. So we didn't have a tape deck, so we had one of those little portable tape recorders that he kind of strapped sort of near where the gear stick was, and we play cassettes in that. But also, you were allowed to just fucking go anywhere in that car.
Oh yeah,
You'd
we
sit
would
in the middle.
We'd kneel up and be like this on the parcel shelf,
climb forward into mum's lap,
waving,
turn around,
at the
waving,
lorry drivers,
turning around. This is why I think we have Brexit, right? Because kids for the last, when did back seatbelts? That's like 25 years, 30 years. So for the last 25, 30 years, kids have not been able to turn around and wave to people behind them. And sometimes you'd get that.
Sometimes they give you that.
Often you get a wave back, right? And of course, if they wave back, you then drop down and start giggling hysterically because this is the coolest thing ever. Because children have not had that socializing, they have become antisocial, racist. That's why we have Brexit.
Oh, okay. Now, I think there's a grain of something there, but I wasn't going to lead it to Brexit.
Okay, well, what were you going to lead it to?
My feeling is that sort of stuff, because we weren't set up necessarily for kids.
Yeah.
Kids had to do a lot of things and compromise and be taken out places that now you don't take them to because they have places set up just for them where they can go and scream and shout and do exactly what they want to, right?
Yeah.
And then they get to 12, 13 and they don't want to do that stuff anymore. So they get released out into the wild. And having not played out in the street and been told off by strangers for, and I'm going to tell you things that I got told off for.
Tim, click live.
Hitting people's cars with your football or chalking on the pavement. I remember one of my neighbours told me for chalking on the pavement.
I got told off for fixing my kite in front of Nadine Long's granddad's house. He came out and bollocked me. I was on the pavement.
Play outside your own house. I
was on the pavement trying to fix a kite.
And one that I did do, which I think was worthy of a telling off, and in retrospect, they were probably quite tolerant. They put up with it for quite a while. Was hitting my tennis ball with my racket against someone else's wall.
Oh yeah, that would drive me. Yeah.
But because I'd never been inside when someone was doing it, I didn't realise you could hear it inside the house, right?
When I was a teenager and I was out cleaning the car, I'd have my little boombox, and I used to have it I used to have my music so loud. Playing Monkeys, playing the fucking Monkeys when I'm 14 cleaning a car. Or in my bedroom, I had my music so loud. Why did no one tell me to shut up? What was wrong with everybody?
Maybe they like the Monkeys.
Yeah,
but the point is, kids don't really do that stuff anymore. So there aren't those little checks, those little social checks that we had every now and again, enough to shit you up or make you feel a bit like, I won't do that again.
And this is why we have paedophiles.
That's why we have paedophiles, but that's why it feels like sometimes kids can be a bit flipping leery and forget that other people are around. If you've ever been to a park, when I used to take my little ones when they were tiny to the park, and there'd be a load of sort of teenagers hanging about, and they'd be like laughing and joking and swearing and littering and stuff, right? Because it was like their first break out of the house and being away from their parents. And they weren't used to that thing of being checked by other people's mums and dads.
David said we used to get told off for standing outside of shops. You used to get told off just for being anywhere.
Yeah.
Really, when we were kids.
Yeah. So, I try to remember what it's like to be their age. And I know that you get carried away. And I've had probably outrageous conversations out in public, a little bit too loud and been a bit too leery and stuff. But I think this particular sort of clutch of kids, just not used to they're not used to sort of fitting in around other people necessarily.
Tony says hanging about on street corners has gone out of fashion. And Andy asks a question. Can I ask, when you say click live that people can't hear you, right, because they're watching in the past and stuff? Yes, Andy.
Yeah, but when they catch up...
Don't tell him. Consider why I might be saying it, Andy. Consider why I might be saying it. Because at some point, you do the math. You do the math.
That's how time works.
That's how time works, man. That's how time works.
Anyway, My little theory though was not about me trying to be horrible about
No.
the youth of today. I just get
It's
it.
got lots to say.
And
It's our
actually,
life. It's
I
our
feel
future.
bloody sorry for the lot that have grown up over the last couple of years. You know, my 13-year-old is going to the park with her friends on, on a weekend, and good for her because they've not been able to socialise for 2 years.
Catever says, we used to get thrown out of Mason's on a Saturday morning for wearing roller skates whilst buying our sweets.
Do you remember when on the way home from school,
Bloody
there used to
hell.
be like a paper shop or something, and they'd only let a few kids in at a time, and you had to leave your bags outside?
Oh, where was I the other day and we walked past a shop? Oh, when we were in Croydon, and we walked past a shop and it said only 2 school children at a time, and I showed it to the boys and they were furious.
Yeah.
What?
Isn't my money good enough for you people?
What's wrong with... What is that? Are they allowed to do that? I said, yeah. And then we laughed at how badly spelt the sign was. But yeah, they're allowed to do that because some people don't like school kids. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? So, yeah. What? They were fuming. You're right, Pats.
I remember walking home from school and you'd walk past, that particular shop and there'd just be a load of bags outside.
Yeah.
That'll stop them because they don't have pockets.
Look at this beautiful little girl. Look at this. Remember when you used to live in a tent?
I've got all 3 of them in now and there's not been a fight yet. I don't know if you can see this, dear viewer, but that little dark shadow there is Willow's tail. And then these 2 are there. 1, 2. Can you see 2? That's Yoko. And so I will be the little one who said, roll over when it's bedtime.
So I don't know what we're going to do tonight, right? I'm so tired. So I've not really got that kind of magic vibe. We'll put the sorry? What do you want, my darling? Sorry. We'll put the link for the Zoom in a bit and we'll have a little bit of that. I'd like some new people to come in if that's cool, but if anyone can come in, you know the rules. But when you come in, have something to say.
Oh,
have something to say.
Can I ask something to our, I don't know, I'm
the hive mind.
To our female viewers.
The ladies.
Actually, there may be some other people and men who are watching too who have some knowledge of this.
Okay.
But talk to me about the perimenopause.
Okay. So,
is it a real thing?
I've heard of this. I've had this mentioned to me in the past. I don't really know what it means, though. You must have Googled it.
I have Googled it, and I'm not entirely sure.
Sorry?
Googled it.
Yep.
I have, and I'm not entirely sure that's. I know at the moment I'm clutching at straws to try and work out why I am so lackluster and without any kind of very little energy at the moment, and I'm just not myself. And I don't know,
I just heard my son's voice. I just heard my son's voice, and he's 50 miles away from me.
So that's how I have been, and it's been for a while. I've mentioned it a lot that I haven't got the concentration to read and stuff at the moment, and haven't been for quite a long time now. And I'm wondering whether that could be a factor. I am 44, and I didn't start my periods until quite late anyway, so you wouldn't think that I'd been.
My sister says it's bloody awful. Tony says, is that like the perimenopause, which is full of majorly hot flushes?
I don't know. But anyway, I'm just wondering whether it's a thing. And at 44, am I in the wheelhouse for it? And but also, when do you know you're in it?
Library Cat says it's real. It's not great. I feel like a moody teenager, but getting up at 5 a.m. rather than 12. Hi, Chihuahua. Tony says, on a more serious note, my wife is currently going through this.
Yeah. I'm not. I don't think Iain's probably the best placed person to answer this, but I don't think I'm extra moody or anything. But I never used to get particularly PMT-ish. But for the last year or so, I have I've known I've known about a week beforehand that something ain't right because I just get very upset and worried, and I have a day of feeling awful. So I wonder, could it be that, or could it be just that there's a lot of stuff going through, and my what they called receptors, what they called, this.
Sorry.
My anyway, it's all shot.
Joe says brain fog, mood swings, mysterious aches and pains, hot sweats, night sweats, headaches, itchy eyes, sleepless nights, exhaustion. The list is endless. Yeah.
I don't need to speak to a doctor about it, Andy. It's not something that they can stop happening or anything like that. And it's not particularly, I'm just wondering if it's an explanation for some little changes that I'm seeing in myself.
I'll tell you what we can do. Do you want to do some magic? Like proper magic with a K? Kajic.
Go on.
Found something.
What's he got? That's not magic. That's putting wood on a fire.
I found something. Just again, look. Just look how tidy that is now.
Beautiful.
Coursework, handouts, songs. I've got terrible stomachache. Right. But while I was over there, I found this. You know what this is? And it's funny I found this because Imani sent me this ages ago. And I'd messaged her a few days ago saying, oh, do you want to fancy a chat?
Is it runes?
No, it's not. Look at the size of that crystal. I don't know what that does. It's kind of purpley here, but you don't see the purpley there. So I don't know what that crystal does. In fact, I'm going to email her. Let me email her. Hang on a minute. Maybe after the show? Hey, I found those crystals you sent me. Do you remember what the big one is and does? There we go. Right. So there's that, but there's also, look at this. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. I got a pendulum. I got an actual magic pendulum sent to me by, if anyone has got magic in them, it's Imani Coppola. And she sent me this. So we can ask it anything. Forget the magic 8-ball, Catherine. Jim says, search Hulk Hogan fancy dress train station. I might do. Right. So we're going to ask, which way does it spin?
You have to tell it, don't you?
Okay. Holy crystal. Hang on a minute. Holy crystal. Oh, hang on a minute. Holy crystal, I command thee to
I don't think you should be doing any
my...
commanding. If it's that holy, you should be respectful.
What? Sorry, what? You can't really interrupt when I've got the echo on. It's a bit tricky to catch up.
Well, just don't be commanding. Be respectful.
69 people are watching us.
Magic rock.
Holy crystal, I beg of thee, please answer. Is that better? Please answer the questions, yay or nay. Clockwise motion is yay. Widdershins is nay. Catherine, ask it a question.
Well, let's do some control questions, shall we?
Okay.
Magic crystal, holy rock. Is Iain Lee a massive cock?
Okay, so that's Widdershins for no. Oh, look at that. That's going big no. That is a big no.
I think we all know.
That is a big no. Big no. First qualifying question has proven it's safe. It's safe to play.
Right, your turn.
Okay. Holy rock magic crystal. Is Catherine Boyle a massive bellend? It's spinning wildly. I didn't even finish the question. Look at that. Look at that. Jeez.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. Oh my God, look at it. It's going crazy. I swear to God, I'm not doing anything.
Well, you may not think you are. All right, stop it, because we all know what that you're doing. You're giving it a waggle.
I'm not giving it. All right, I'll do it here so you can see. There we go. Look, you can see it, right? No waggling.
All right, I'm going to use the magic moomin.
Okay, someone in the chat. Can someone in the chat ask a question, please?
I'm going to use the magic moomin. If he lands face down, it's yes, and if magic moomin, if you land face backwards, on your back rather, it's no.
What do you do? What is this?
Well, you know,
You haven't got reverb on your voice, so it can't be real.
Hang on.
Shove that somewhere.
He's on his front. That means yes.
Oh, look, your internet's gone shit. There's a surprise.
It's because the power's so strong in the magic moomin. I put him down.
Oh, Jesus. All right, let's ask a question.
Go on.
Will the magic crystal, will the Queen die this year?
I've just realised something. Yeah. The way our screens are set up, you look like the devil and I look like an angel.
The crystal's thinking. Very It says no. It says no. The Queen will not die this year. Clip that. Clip that.
Tell her
and when
she'll be relieved.
Clip that, and when she doesn't die, you can replay it.
Yeah, magic powers.
Clip that. Clip that. Oh shit. Clip that. Seriously, clip that. It is bedazzled. Look, I do look like Mephistopheles. He was a cat, wasn't he? I look like what's his name? Victor Drago. Not Victor Drago. The guy that played the Master on Doctor Who, the proper Master, not that Scouse lad. I'm reminded that I can't tell that story now because I've just said who it was. Delgado, that's it. I'm like the Delgados. Okay, all right. This is bubbling along. This is very nice.
Daniel says if the Queen survives the year, she's got Ian's jewels to thank.
Blessings, namaste. Speaking of namaste, I think I don't know if I'm up to date with. Oh, she says, I don't remember sending you crystals.
Oh, maybe the universe sent them.
Oh, shit.
What now?
It's so cool. I get to email one of my favorite pop stars of all time. One of my favorite pop stars of all time. I get to email her and she replies quite often with swears. Love it.
Of course, with swears.
I love it. I love it. So this is the show. And we don't quite know where we're going to go with it yet, but this is the beauty of it. Shall we put the link for the Zoom, because we're doing it on Zoom tonight and we will be doing it on Zoom tomorrow.
Yes.
We'll put the link in the chat if you want to join us. Come and join us. Have something to say. Do have something to say. Don't just come in and go, oh. Come, do have something to say. Have a story. Have a tale.
Have a skill. Have a talent. Have a gift.
I didn't use this newspaper for my radio show last night.
Oh,
so there's
how remiss of you.
There's plenty. Front page. He'll go nuclear when this comes out. Jolly little headline, isn't it? Evil Putin starred in X-rated taboo sex video. I'm just trying to be careful. I don't want to show too many rude bits, but there he is. It's him, right? That's him, right?
Is he wearing a miner's helmet?
Evil Russian tyrant Vladimir Putin is apoplectic with rage after pictures from his secret past as a gay porn star emerged late last night.
Oh.
It's believed that the images taken from X-rated videos Putin starred in back in 1991 may have been leaked by the security services. One Kremlin insider said this will finish Putin. It's good news. Good news. Let's go to page 5 and find out what's going on. Oh, God. I can't be so careful. Right, I think... I mean, look at his face in that one. He's...
I can see the top of somebody else's head there. Okay.
Right. As the Soviet Union collapsed, millions of Russians struggled to make ends meet. Then, as now, their currency was worthless and state coffers were bare. One of those on the bones of his arse... Sorry, I can't really say it right. Was an obscure former KGB lieutenant colonel, I say lieutenant, you can say lieutenant if you want, called Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin. Like so many ripped from the withered teat of state socialism, Putin now had to earn a living. This is beautiful writing, right?
Well.
Officially, he claims he paid his bills by working as a taxi driver. But that's only part of the story, because as well as taxiing, we can reveal Putin had a side hustle as a gay porn star. When the Berlin Wall fell, one of the first Western industries to go east was the adult film trade. Overnight, millions of Russians started making healthy livings having sex on camera. Millions. And
millions?
One of them was the then 38-year-old Putin. His secret life sucking...
What?
And splaying his scrawny arse for... has been known to Western intelligence for years. I'm missing some of the words out. But it was hushed up as the West attempted to court the increasingly dictatorial monster of the Kremlin. Now, thanks to Putin's illegal invasion of Ukraine, the photos have mysteriously come to light. Henderson Probert, professor of Slavic studies at the University of West Lancashire, said, "There have long been whispers that Putin was a gay porn star. Speaking about it in Russia was inviting arrest, and possessing pictures of Putin being violated by some horse-hung Slavic man was a death sentence. The images will cause a storm in Moscow, where Putin has long maintained a macho image. He is notoriously anti-gay."
Yep.
Professor Probert noted, "It's interesting that those who are most anti-gay in public tend to be those who in private enjoy 9 inches of solid man gristle pumping into their nipsy." So, their nipsy.
Well, all I'm saying is, whoever wrote that article had better be wiping their door handles and turning away any, I don't know, cathedral-loving tourists for the next 5 years, because right there, that's an international incident waiting to happen.
Is my Russian wife a Kremlin spy? Don fears mail-order bride is up to no good. After tiring of the single life in 2018, Don Wilson plucked up the courage to go out and find himself a wife. Alas, the ladies in his hometown of Biddulph, Staffordshire, were less than impressed with what the Virgin supermarket security consultant had to offer. Casting his net wider to the potteries town of Tunstall and Burslem, Dom could still find no volunteers to walk down the aisle. Finally, frustrated but determined, Don signed on to a dating agency which matched Brits with single ladies from the vastness of Russia. Within a week, he was meeting Alina, who had travelled from her remote home in Koinast. Alina, 23, spoke not a word of English, but the couple settled down in Don's one-bedroom apartment. But now Don admits he harbours dark concerns about his bride and fears she may be a spy sent to Biddulph on the orders of Putin. Drinking deeply from a can of cider, Don revealed he fears that speaking out may make him a target for Putin's death squad. And it says bummed. He shuddered. Looking back, the signs were there early on. Alina would stay out until the early hours and come home reeking of booze, and with her hair matted with, let's say, Venga Boys. I asked her if she'd been consorting with other men. By then she learned a bit of English, and so she told me to fuck off. Then there was the time I saw her in the alleyway off Congleton Road. I can't read that. I can't read that. Oh, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you a voice note, right, of what I cannot read, so you can hear it.
I'll turn my microphone off. Let me just check that worked.
Right, hang on. Let me just... So, right, hang on. Just going to send Catherine
Right. I'm going to count to 5. Tell me that you can't hear 4, 5. Right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Did you hear 4 and 5? You've turned... Oh, right. Hang on. He's turned his mic off. Seems like quite a lengthy description of what sounds like a filthy, filthy scenario. You couldn't hear 4 and 5. Thanks, Ross Hortz. Good grief, is he reading the whole bloody paper? Comic.
Okay, I'm sending... I read on further than I needed to.
I thought you did. You seem to take quite a long time.
Yeah. So I've sent that over to you. So you should have that audio clip.
51 seconds of it. Right. I'm turning my mic off.
Okay. Then Catherine's now going to listen to the thing. Let's watch her reaction. It ends after "That's how we do things in Russia." You all right, Catherine? You back? You back in the room? This is perhaps the best episode of this we have ever done. You right, Kath? How many times you listened? It wasn't that long. That's how we do things in Russia. It's some paper, the sport. It really is some. It really is some paper.
That's a very sad story.
I can read the end. That was how they did things in her country. But Don's fears reached fever pitch when Alina disappeared. He said, "She just vanished. The strange thing is my brother Kevin disappeared at the same time. My fear is Alina has kidnapped Kev and is keeping him as a hostage on the orders of the Kremlin. I've told local police, but they don't take me seriously. The Russian Secret Service have even compromised them. Alina is clearly a spy and she's up to God knows what twisted Russian wickedness. I can't believe I've risked the security of Britain just to get my leg over." Caught with 4 bottles of Russian standard vodka down his piss-soaked trousers, vagrant Tommy Wilson had to think quickly on his uncertain feet.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Are all the stories about Russians?
This is the war in Ukraine double spread, yeah.
Flipping it. Right, okay.
Caught with 4 bottles of Russian standard vodka down his piss-soaked trousers, vagrant Tommy Wilson had to think quickly on his uncertain feet. That's what makes this brilliant, the use of the word uncertain. He told supermarket security guards he'd swiped the litre bottles in a bid to show support for war-torn Ukraine. Homeless Tommy, 53, said, "I had to remove it from sale so that British customers wouldn't be tempted to buy it. Everyone knows that every penny made from the purchase of vodka goes straight into the pockets of Putin and his cronies." There we go. Right. Okay. There we go. Plus size. No, I'm not going to read that. Some of these you've got to be careful.
Some of them are a bit 80s, let's be honest.
I'll lend you 7. This is Prince Charles to Prince Andrew.
Oh, God.
"I'll lend you £7 million, but I want your stash of vintage Razzle Mags. Charles' X-rated condition on loan to shamed brother Andy. If you need megabucks to pay off someone, okay. If you need megabucks to pay off someone, it helps if your brother is the Prince of Wales. Last week, it was reported that Prince Charles is set to foot a part of the bill for Andrew's lawsuit. The Prince of Wales will reportedly loan the Duke of York up to £7 million, which will not include public money, after the royal agreed. But today, Sunday Sport can reveal there are strings attached to Charlie's loan. Strings in the shape of Prince Andrew's massive collection of Razzle magazines. A source close to the royals told us, as the Prince of Wales, there was no way that Charles could collect Razzle. Even if he found a page under a hedge at his Highgrove estate, he had to ignore it.
Oh.
The idea of the heir to the throne having a collection of twat mags would have undermined the monarchy. But Andrew was not bound by this and was rightly proud of his collection. When Charles offered the loan for Andrew's settlement, he made it clear that the Razzles were the price of his help. Andrew was gutted but needed the money. He was over a barrel and had to agree. It's not clear when the mags, which run to hundreds of issues, will be handed over. It's well known in royal circles Andrew began collecting the Bargain Basement mag in 1983 when it was launched, and continued amassing the Grumble Sheet.
Oh my God.
Famed for its readers' wives. I'm going to send you. Right, I'm just going to send you one more thing because I cannot say it.
Oh.
There we go. Just sent you that.
Microphone off.
I knew you'd like that one.
Jesus.
Okay, there we go.
Speaking of hedge porn, remember Kate Lister that we spoke to? She runs the Twitter account, which is called Paws of Yore.
Paws of Yore. Yeah, she's brilliant.
She's written an article for iNews, which I thought it sprang to mind when you were talking about that delightful vignette just then. I've collected the first set of data on hedge porn. There's a lot we can learn from people's experiences. I won't beat about the bush. Did you ever find porn in a hedge when you were younger? She asks. The government is once again trying to bring in legislation that will require porn sites to verify the age of their users. The legislation is part of the Online Safety Bill, which is designed to protect children from viewing pornography online. So I won't beat around the bush. Did you ever find porn in a hedge when you were younger? Depending on your age, that will either be an insanely bizarre question or you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. For those born after the year 2000, the digital natives of online porn, the answer is likely to be no. But for those of us who grew up in the pre-internet world of mucking mags and grainy VHS, the answer might well be yes. Yep. But how widespread was this and what kind of porn are we talking about? And perhaps most importantly, who the hell was leaving it there? When I first pitched the idea of writing about it to my editor, we ran into a problem. Evidence. Could I prove this was something that happened to other people and not just a weird episode I recall from my own childhood? And then she talks about she being 10 when she found a pile of Mayfair under a hedge in the local park. I felt fascinated and scared at the same time. Then again, I've grown up to be a sex researcher, so I can't rule out whether it was a formative experience. What I do know, anecdotally at least, is I certainly wasn't alone. Anyway, she writes about this thing. It's fascinating. It was quite common, wasn't it, that you would find stuff? And I'm wondering.
Well, I can tell you exactly what it was. It was men going out and having knocking one out, and then feeling guilty and going, "Oh, can't have this." And,
can't take it home.
Away. Yeah,
but they didn't take it. But they didn't chuck it away. They stashed it.
Well, yeah. But it's a purge. It's the you masturbate and then you go, what the fuck. Oh God, I hate myself. I've never done this specific thing, but I have had, I've had that feeling of, oh my God, what the hell am I doing? Why am I wearing this? And it's you purge, and that's where I imagine it comes from.
Right, but I think then it's an extra step, going, oh, what am I doing? I've got to get rid of this too, and the other 10 copies, and I'll just put them there for next time.
Well, you don't get like a big stash. It was never a stash. It was either a couple of pages.
She found a stash.
Well, I think that's a one-off. Let me show you this. This was a story that was in the Sport, and I've just fact-checked it, and it's correct. Google Maps caught this.
What?
Oh, you can't see it because I'm in the way. Hang on a minute. Let me make it a little bit. There we go.
Oh, my God. Is that on the A421?
It's good, isn't it? That was in the Sport.
Maybe she's just fallen over at the same time as his trousers fell down.
Yeah, could be. I mean,
Maybe she's a mechanic. She's about to lift the bonnet.
They look like they're waving to the Google car, don't they?
They do.
They look like they're waving to the Google car. What a time. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. Why am I... Let me... Out of focus. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. I don't think there's anything else. You kind of get like three stories in the sport that you can kind of read. Oh, here we go. The headline... All right, I won't read the headline. This is a little thing. Residents in posh Haywards Heath, West Sussex, are horrified after a local man put his shitty boxers, smell satisfaction guaranteed, for sale on an online auction.
What? Smell satisfaction guaranteed.
Oh.
Jesus.
321 mascot Dusty Bin found on a ship that sank. Holy shit. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this justice. What's Dusty Bin doing down there? 321 mascot found on ship that sank in 1915. It's the marine archaeology find of the century. Scientists have found and filmed the Endurance, one of the greatest ever undiscovered shipwrecks, 107 years after it sank. But when experts closely analysed the footage, they found something very unusual. Below the iconic ship's wheel was an original ceramic Dusty Bin, similar to those given away in the 1980s TV quiz show 321, hosted by nimble-fingered comic Ted Rogers. And Ted, who famously opened a branch of Comet in Northwich, Cheshire, died back in 2001, so he's unable to shed any light on the find, right? Right. Let's see if we can... Right, so there's Dusty Bin, and there he is.
What?
It is him. I can't get it in focus. Hang on. There we go. And you can just see it there.
Wow.
It's your actual Dusty Bin. It's actual Dusty Bin. By the way, I look hot today. I think when I'm tired is when I look my hottest. Oh, Jesus Christ! Oh, you scared the life out of me, love. And you're soaking wet, so you can actually go and bugger off. That was mucky.
Someone's snoring behind me and they're making a very strange noise.
Okay, that's...
Oh, look.
There we go. That's from the olden days. So, this is the show. You're very welcome to it, and you really are welcome to it. Bezic was banging on about this. He didn't mention Dusty Bin though for some reason. Bezic does not get the full glory of the story. That's
he
the
doesn't
thing.
read the sport, maybe.
He doesn't. It is my favourite thing on a Monday, driving off to see clients and stopping up to get petrol and buying the Sunday Sport. It's one of the joys. It's one of the great joys of being alive. So I've got terrible stomachache because I made this chili and it was supposed to last for like 3 days, and I've eaten most of it today. So now I've got terrible stomachache, and I just don't know what to do with that. So we are, as you know, taking April off from everything, from Radio Anywhere, from this, from I'm aiming to not be on, not post anything on social media. It's going to be a real experiment for me. Most people will go, oh yeah, that's easy, but it will be an experiment for me to see if I can do it or not. Why you chuckle? Why you chuckle, lady?
There's a cat snoring. Just be quiet a minute. You hear that?
Yeah. Yes, I can hear that, dickhead. Hey, David Baddiel follows me and liked to tweet the other day.
Well, yeah, his brother follows me, and we sometimes tweet each other. Very rarely.
Well, his brother's not David Baddiel.
No, but there's a little connection there. I suspect that they see things I retweet and.
Oh, well, he sees things that I tweet.
Well, he does because he does it on purpose. Yeah.
Okay. He follows me, and he liked to tweet where I was called out for the homophobia on the 11 o'clock show.
Yeah, I saw that, and I'm glad that you addressed it.
I addressed it, and then the guy rolled it back immediately. And
it was
apologised.
incredible, actually.
Rolled it back immediately and apologised.
It was very rarely
great.
seen on Twitter when someone goes, "Yeah, do you know what? There was no need for that."
Yeah, and I had read his Linda Thompson interview, and it was a great interview. Anyway, you two look like Obi-Wan and Princess Leia tonight. These are not the droids you're looking for. These are not the droids we're looking for.
My only hope.
There you go. We can do that shit. We can do that stuff. We can do that stuff. We normally do that stuff for kids though, because it's like kids and kids films. It's
I
like
did
Disney movies for kids.
Dress up as Princess Leia once for a party, for a 1970s party. And,
Jim, I actually said it before you even joined that she looked like Princess Leia. So don't you get me started, Jimbo Hawks.
But and I drove us there, so it was me and Chewie was in the passenger seat. It was great.
I wasn't listening to a word of that. Sorry.
I know you never do. I don't do it for your benefit. I do it for the public.
Do you know what? I'm sorry. I was miles away. I missed that as well. What?
Okay. Yeah. Just a minute.
Look at the cats. Look at the cats on the bed. Look at the state of those two. Have you ever? Oh my God. Look. Oh, Mum's off. Dinner time. Dinner time. Mum's off. Look at that. Unbelievable behaviour. Unbelievable behaviour. Here we go. Oh, it's about to kick off it's about to kick off, guys. It's about to kick off. I'm sorry, Jim, that Catherine deemed that you weren't important enough to be here.
Oh, I think you're important. I'm just, I'm done with your rudeness, quite frankly, young man.
Sorry, Kath, I was miles away. What did you say just then? Okay, Jimbo, welcome. Jim, your hair's getting a little bit shaggy there, mate. He's ignoring me as well. What is this?
Yeah.
The Ignorance Club?
Mm-hmm.
That's how we like it. Jim, we cannot hear you. Cannot hear you. This is just a one-man show, baby. I can do this goddamn show on my own. I can do this goddamn show. I can teach you all a goddamn lesson about things. Jim, that's...
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yes, I can hear you now.
Well, now that's coming out of the wrong bloody thing.
Okay, well, with respect, that's your issue. We'll just wait for you to sort it out, mate. That's not a problem, buddy.
There we go. Sorted.
Low energy tonight, guys. Very, very low energy. What are you here for?
Well, I'll answer your question about the hair thing first, if you want that.
Click live, please, Jim. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I was muted. I started telling you. Dear God.
What is wrong with everyone today? Everyone's got a cob on.
We're feeding off your energy. That's what it is. Yeah.
It's not everyone. It's you.
Yeah. That's exactly what I just said. Exactly. We're feeding off his energy, aren't we, Catherine? So I had a haircut booked 2 Mondays ago. Has he left? Has he seriously left?
No.
Brilliant. Oh.
He's not turned his microphone off because he can't resist. Talk to me, Jim, because I will. Do you know what? Here's the thing. 1, I'm interested. 2, I will listen. And 3, I won't be thinking about my own hair. Although it's looking quite shiny today.
It's looking good. It's looking good, yeah.
Thank you. Jim, about you.
So, yeah, I had a haircut booked that the barbers have adopted Booksy as their booking thing. And I had a haircut booked 2 Mondays ago. And I had a really bad night's sleep and I had a panic attack right before, about an hour before I was due to have it cut. So I cancelled on the app, fully willing to pay the cancellation fee and everything, not knowing that it had got Jen's card on it because she'd set it up because she was fed up with my hair looking like this and had just found it in at the height of the pandemic, and that card had lapsed. So I was blocked by the barbers because I was not in good standing because I hadn't paid the cancellation fee. So I've got to pop in and pay £16 for the benefit of not having turned up.
Wow.
And then I'll be allowed
and you have to have a
book
penalty
again.
haircut.
Well, I'll have to pay for the haircut, as well. So.
But also, it'll be a penalty haircut where you're not allowed to choose what it is, and they will give you a haircut of shame.
Anything would be better than this at the moment because I can literally do nothing with it. So, and I've kind of given up doing anything with it. So yeah, that's why my hair's looking so ridiculous.
I don't think it does look ridiculous.
Oh, it does when I haven't got the headset on and stuff. It is getting ridiculously
Is it long around the sides?
It's getting a bit 70s at the back.
Have you ever cut your own hair?
Yeah. I used to have clippers, so I used to do a grade 2 or labour.
A buzz.
Yeah. Jen's banned me from that though because she says I look like a thug.
A thug?
Apparently so. Or I look like my dad, one of the two, because he does his own.
Kim cut his own hair once.
Yeah, did he?
Yeah, he did. He's not afraid to go in with a pair of scissors, and
Wasn't it this?
There was, and it was, but he thought it looked great, and I had to respect that. He was very, very happy with the end result. He is not afraid to dive in and have a go at something. This weekend, maybe the first time he sleeps in his bedroom on the top of the house. He's never slept there because I made the mistake of telling him it was haunted, and there are some spooky doors in there. And but because he's got the COVID, I said, how would you feel about you sleeping in my bed and maybe me sleeping downstairs, or bringing up the inflatable mattress and sleeping on the floor? He said, oh, do you know what? I'll sleep in my room. What?
Brilliant.
So we'll see how that goes. It is brilliant, but also I miss having him in bed with me, my little baby.
Well, yeah, but he is riddled with disease, so maybe not this weekend.
Disease. Yeah, he is riddled with disease.
Just remember how he was the first time you had it. You don't want that again, do you?
I don't want to get it. I don't really want to have the boys this weekend. If I'm completely honest, I kind of think, well, stay with your mum, guys. Stay with your mum.
Knowing you actually, and with you've got bigger boys' DNA running through your veins as well. You might be the source of the new variant.
I could be patient zero. Do you remember when it started happening in here in UK, and there was a patient zero, and
was it the guy on the ski trip?
The choir, the Yorkshire choir, predated the ski trip, didn't it?
Yeah,
he was the first one they tried to pin it on, and then they said it was this choir.
But I do remember that feeling of, where is it? And you would look. Has it come to our town yet? It was awful.
They had like they built like an isolation, the quarantine kind of thing. And maybe it was the people, I don't know, but I remember like this guy being the first guy allowed out of the quarantine thing because he was like,
in Liverpool.
Yes, Ron, yes.
Yeah.
People just don't like Premier Inns.
No, it was a weird. First.
It was a facility, wasn't it?
Wasn't it nursing training quarters in Liverpool?
Oh yeah. And do you remember all the students stuck in their halls of residence?
Yeah, and they were lowering down baskets of food from windows.
They were putting signs on saying "Send weed."
By the door.
Here we go. This isn't it, but do you mind? This might give us a little bit of a historical. I wonder if this
is it. COVID the musical?
No, God. I wonder if it's
going to happen.
This will sit with us. Hang on a second. The first British death of coronavirus.
Oh, wow.
Good evening. The latest UK case of coronavirus is the first to be contracted within the country rather than abroad. The man walked into a GP surgery in Surrey feeling unwell. It came as another patient who'd been quarantined.
Can they what?
I can't hear that. I'm hoping everyone else can.
Oh, can you not hear it? Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry. Share sound. All right, let's go back in time, and I can.
What date was this? February 28th.
Jeez.
Where do you see that?
Yeah, February 28th, 2020.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, I just got
wow.
Because.
And we didn't lock down till what? March 23rd?
Here we go. Let's have a bit of this.
Good evening. The latest UK case of coronavirus is the first to be contracted within the country rather than abroad. The man walked into a GP surgery in Surrey feeling unwell. It came as another patient who'd been quarantined on a cruise ship in Japan became the first Briton to die from the illness. The respiratory disease, which causes pneumonia-like symptoms, has infected almost 84,000 people.
Whoa! Affected almost 84,000 people worldwide.
That's crazy.
That's insane, man.
Things like, respiratory disease, it's not a respiratory disease. it's a multi-organ disease.
Yeah, but
we need so little back then, didn't we?
Yeah.
In more than 50 countries.
And David, we will look at when was it the German Big Brother contestants were told about COVID?
Yes, and they thought it was a joke, didn't they?
And although the vast majority of cases remain in China, the virus is now spreading faster outside that country. The World Health Organization says most, if not all, countries should expect outbreaks.
I mean, doesn't this sound so naive now?
Yeah.
Here in the UK, 20 people now have coronavirus.
Holy shit! It was Canadian Big Brother. Okay, I thought there was a German one as well.
With Wales reporting its first patient. In a moment, we'll look at the effect of coronavirus on the global economy, and we'll answer some of the most pressing questions on how to manage the threat that the virus poses. But first, our health editor Hugh Pym has this report, which does contain flashing images.
I remember I was waiting for something to come from China, and customer services kept writing to me and saying, "We're so sorry about the delay. None of us are in the factory." And it sounded, outlandish to me that not one person was able to go in. But of course, a few months later, we were in exactly the same position.
I was in Australia on this date for my cousin's wedding. She got married on the 29th of Feb.
Do you know what? I bet you and I... Sorry, Jim. Sorry, go on.
No, go on.
No, I interrupted. You're in Australia?
Yeah, I have no recollection of this first British death or any of that, or those low numbers, because I was in Australia where it was literally 50 people had got it. And, we were worried about whether we were going to be able to fly back or not, like 7 days later or something. But yeah, it's crazy. Completely different perspective.
See, it's just 2 years. Just over 2 years, right? The huge difference in our lifestyles and the world and our attitude and the numbers and everything. In just 2 years, man, 25 months.
This GP surgery in Surrey was being deep cleaned after being closed to patients. A man who'd been in to see a doctor tested positive for the coronavirus. It's potentially highly significant as he hadn't been abroad. Health officials are trying to find out if he was in contact with anyone recently back from one of the worst affected countries.
Holy shit, man.
And the crazy thing as well is that, it's much... This was before they'd realised that for years they've had what airborne means wrong. That, they'd misrepresented what was in one study. And actually the best thing they could have done for that doctor's surgery that person had walked into was open all the windows. You see other places in the world where they're putting HEPA filters onto buses and things to keep the air clean so that it doesn't transmit. And we're not doing anything. We're just shoving everyone back on them. And, it's all gone away and we're getting our highest numbers ever. It's crackers.
So I've not seen the Canadian Big Brother. I've seen the German Big Brother. Where
Riverside FM is the easiest way
let me shut the door
to produce a high-quality podcast.
And this is one of those crappy things where they just put music over it because they're idiots.
Because they don't have the rights.
Yeah, Big Brother, COVID German. Where is? Where? Okay, well, this is the Canada one.
I think it's time for some other people to feel the heat besides Miz.
Yep. There's a lot more happening than we've been giving people credit for. We're not at the center of everything. Everyone's at the center of everything.
As long as we're playing as hard as we can, I'll be able to eventually live with whatever result.
Yeah.
House guests, please come to the living room.
Oh,
Ooh,
snap.
I've got goosebumps.
Shoot. That always scares me. What could this be?
So this is the Canadian one, Catherine.
House guests, it's me, Aaron.
Hi.
Hi, Aaron.
I have some difficult news to share.
Oh my God.
This is incredible, right? I got goosebumps.
As you're aware, we've been giving you updates on COVID-19 and how the federal, provincial, and local municipal governments are taking proactive measures to prevent the spread of the virus. The Premier said today, this is not a time for half measures. The Government of Ontario has ordered a mandatory shutdown of all non-essential businesses. This takes effect tomorrow night at midnight.
Wow.
What?
Oh my God.
Unfortunately, as a result,
Oh my God, you guys.
we are forced to officially end the production of this season of Big Brother Canada.
Oh my God.
Beefcake's not happy.
No, this is his moment.
Music though.
They're all just disappointed for themselves.
Yeah,
aren't
they are.
It's just.
But yeah, but you can understand it because they don't know what it is, and we didn't know what it was then.
But can you
they
tell
said
me
they
who?
I
would
want to
update
express
Tell me who
heartfelt
would
thanks
win?
to each and every one of you for being a part of this season. Your journeys are being cut short, but I hope
Right, well, David says there is a clip where it's the first time they're told about it. Well, where is? So that's the last one. That's when they're kicked out.
Yeah, someone's playing the piano in the background.
The housemates learn about the seriousness of COVID-19. But where's the? This isn't the one. Where's the one?
It must be that one.
Yes, mate.
Like, I leave.
House
I'm, like,
guests,
at peace with
please come to the living room.
I mean, he's got a voice, isn't it?
that. We gotta go to the living room.
Oh, that was so nice.
March 15th.
house guests,
Hi.
Hi, Erin.
I have some news to give you guys from the outside world.
Oh no.
Before you guys entered sequester, there was a virus in China called the coronavirus, or more accurately now, it's called COVID-19. Since you guys have been sequestered with us, the virus has continued to spread worldwide.
Wow. Okay.
The World Health Organization declared this a pandemic on March 11th. We're following all recommendations laid out by the Canadian government. We've contacted all of your caretakers directly just to check in on them and see how they're doing. And just so you guys know,
Oh, we're getting a yellow warning. Why is this? Why am I crying at this? I'm crying at this. This is. I tell you, I know exactly why I'm crying at this. The last two. I've said this a few times. The last 2 years have been so fucking shit, like beyond shit. But now we take it as normal that life's a bit shit and people are going to get ill and you should quarantine if you want, but you don't have to anymore. And everyone's a bit scared. We've kind of accepted it now. We've accepted that life is shit.
We take nothing for granted. We realise how flimsy normality was, and that at any point it could all be taken away again. We've got used to that because that was the only way we could survive.
And it's quite possible we will never. Well, it's almost definite we will never be like we were on, January the 1st, 2020. That is never going to happen. And God, I'm really emotional thinking about this, and it's partly because I've really been considering recently how awful the last 2 years have been, and how. I'm thinking about when we used to get picked Domino's. I felt bad ordering Domino's because I didn't know if it was safe for the driver. And he would leave it on the front door. He'd ring the doorbell, then go and get back in his car. And I'd come out and I'd wave and I'd get the Domino's in and I'd disinfect all of the boxes to protect my kids, Fucking hell.
You know what I found today? A big box that I had of bread mixes because we couldn't get bread.
Yeah.
And it had gone off because I made one and it was really shitty. It was like the only one I could get was like this sort of special one, and there was a reason why no one else had bought it. It was just bloody awful. I remember making soap because we couldn't get soap.
Yeah.
I mean, what upsets me the most is we've all been through all of this these last 2 years, and actually, if we look at how well we've done as a country for this, we've done absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
And New Zealand are opening back up now completely with it eradicated. It's, there was another way and we just refused to take it.
Whereas here, it's like, okay, well, that's enough of that then. Let's just crack on, shall we?
We're all closing our eyes and going, la, 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 it can't hurt us. And it does become real. The fact that Kim, has to stay away from school. And I'm now worried that will I catch it, which means I can't work with clients next week, of course. But it brought it home the other day. I was free on Tuesday. I thought, I'm going to go and visit my mum. And I phoned up and said, is it all right if I pop in and see mum today? And they said, oh, no, you can't. We've had a case and we've had to go into lockdown for 2 weeks. And oh, God. And it just reminded me how dangerous this is, how real this is, how vulnerable certain people are. And I thanked them. You know, she said, I'm really sorry. I said, oh, no, I thank you for looking after my mum and doing what you need to do, you know. But I think back to when I wasn't allowed to go and visit. I remember just as lockdown was happening, I bought like a Facebook portal thing, but because I was going to put it in her room, but I got it too late and I wasn't allowed in, and I was and the one time I was allowed to go and sit outside her room in the garden and phone her up and talk to her on the phone. Jesus, man. It is, Daniel says, 100% combination of COVID, losing my dad, losing my dog, and now the war and money stuff. I'm so overwhelmed by a feeling of life is shit. It's just normal now. Oh, God, the last 2 years have been so horrible. And no one is really, you know, a significant number of us are going to have PTSD because of, just for COVID. Forget everything else that is going to be on top of that, but people are going to have PTSD. It's awful.
Here's the added thing for me. We were doing all that stuff. You weren't seeing your mum. We were taking every precaution we were advised to. I was adhering to the rules. Absolutely. My parents live around the corner. I was not seeing them. I was flashing the flipping landing light to say goodnight to my parents. So the children didn't see their grandparents for that whole time, right? And I did it gladly because I thought we were part of a team effort. And then you find out, first of all, that Dominic Cummings was taking the piss. And then it transpires that he wasn't the only one. And that has not only broken my heart, but completely shattered any illusion that we were being looked after at all by those people. The NHS, those workers there, they were equally let down because the people making the rules. If you're looking for the whole time. And that I will never, ever forgive that lot for. And it's not about party political sides or anything like that. It's the fact that we've got a group of people there that thought we were stupid and that treated us like we were morons.
But they were, you know, and here comes one of them now. But they will, that was mean. And they will get away with it. They've gotten away with it and they've won.
Well, because there's always another distraction. There's always look over there. But that's changed the way I think about that lot in particular.
There's a massive number of training doctors who've just, potential doctors who've just graduated university, and Sajid Javid has cut all of the training places. Something ridiculous like 792 potential doctors have now not got training places, having committed 5 years at university or something to train, and then there's no places for them to go and become an F1. It's because all the money's gone into their mates' pockets as well. Yeah. That's what really.
Yeah.
Matt Hancock's landlord and all that stuff. Just.
And then the Russia thing, and you find out that Rees-Mogg withdrew a load of money from a Russian business a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. Good evening, David Turners. Welcome.
Hello. I wanted to join because I'm sitting there and I was getting a bit emotional as well watching that Canadian Big Brother thing and just reminiscing on the start of it all and what we all went through. And I just remember the one that got me was when we went for our first social distance walk as a family. Because we left it a little while because we were thinking, it's a bit, not sure we actually want to leave yet. And then we said, no, we're going to do it because the kids are being stuck indoors or whatever. And then just walking down the local streets and seeing some kids in the front garden, just staring at you what's that coming down the road, and seeing the old lady coming towards us and us darting the other side of the road, just getting out of their way. It's really when I think back to that time, it really gets to you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm never going to understand fully what we've been through. No. I don't think.
The one that got me, the thing that makes me really upset is when I had the boys here and they were here for like three or four days of the week, and then they were at their mum's the other. So we were lucky in that I was seeing her, I'm dropping the kid and all of that. But I remember going out for a walk, and I kind of lived sort of in the country a bit, and so we were going to walk along this public footpath, and there was a gate. and they went to grab to open the gate. I went, whoa, no, let me do that, and I did it, and I pulled my jumper, and I was opening gates like that for my boys to walk through the woods. You know, it was a really meaningless, but for me it was a real simple. No, you can't touch that gate. Let me do that. Let me do that, boys. You stand back. Fuck, that's where we were at, man.
Yeah.
And buying yogurt. I remember Betty. And I remember I used to go and get do the pickups, the Tesco pickups. So I'd order it and go and pick it up. And I would text Betty, "Do you want anything?" She goes, "Oh, can you get me some yogurt?" I remember getting her some yogurt, getting it here, wiping it down, disinfecting my hands, wiping it down, putting it in a new bag, taking it outside, and then going back indoors and texting her saying, "Oh, your yogurt's outside. Your yogurt's outside. Wiped down with disinfectant."
Yeah.
That's where we were at, and we have to keep talking about it. And I wish I'd filmed more and done like more diaries and stuff. The boys started a diary, but they didn't keep it going for very long. But we have to keep talking about it because we'll forget it.
Yeah,
we will forget how insane and lonely and scary and painful it was. And I would scary for everyone. A different kind of fear if you were a parent because you didn't know I kept thinking, what have I brought my kids into, you know? But scary for all of us in different ways, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to keep telling. Well, I didn't have to keep telling him, but I did. I sort of mentioned it to Harry a few times that, well, what we're going through, like in the first year, what we're going through now, you're going to read about like for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Like this is people in 40 years time are going to go, oh, so how old would you have been during that? What do you remember from it and stuff?
I said to the girls that this is like you asking your grandparents about evacuation.
Yeah.
You're going to be those kids that everyone wants to talk to because they can't imagine what it was like for you. You're going through something really special, really terrifying, and a big moment in history. And I'm sorry it's you that's going through it, but no one else will ever understand this the way that you're experiencing it.
Nellie's. This stuff, 2.5 years ago would have sounded insane, but it makes sense. Nellie says, "Old man saying thanks, son, when I gave him a wide berth while I was out jogging."
Yeah.
You say that to someone 2 years ago. What does that mean? It's like, oh shit, yeah, we really took notice of that kind of stuff. I remember there was a real anger about joggers not respecting, and spewing out stuff.
Yeah.
And,
cyclists going too far from their home was another one. Do you remember people moaning about that? They shouldn't be going too far from their home. And we had people in power going up to Bernard Castle and having a nice day. Oh, mate.
It was. You weren't allowed to. You had like a radius of where you were allowed to go.
Yeah.
That was outside your home.
And in Spain, they weren't allowed to. They were allowed to go like a block or something. And if you went to the supermarket, you had to have your receipt with you because you would be checked by the police.
Yeah.
They took it really, really seriously. But the thing I remember the most about that time was a family member of mine was really ill, and
we had the same thing.
Really ill. Going through treatment. I couldn't go and hug them. I couldn't go and sit with them. I couldn't keep them company. They had to deal with that pretty much on their own. And they were going into appointments on their own. It was just shit. And I remember the first time I saw that person, we had planned that hug for about 2 weeks. And I was terrified of holding them. That's something I won't ever forget. And I won't ever take it for granted. I say that, and we always do, don't we? Because that's the way you deal with trauma. But it's like, when someone dies and you go, I'm going to live my life. And 3 months later, you forget about it. But I'll never take for granted that being able to hold someone like that again, because that was torture. That was torture. Thank God for Zooms and all that stuff, but it's not the same.
Joe's mum was diagnosed shortly before, in January. And she's so close to the kids, like she is, they're her world, And I just remember having to just walk up to a block of flats and she stood by the window. And every week we did it. And every week she just looked more and more beaten,
Yeah.
And it wasn't until they announced the support bubble stuff where it was like, it was, I can't even explain
wasn't
that
it?
day when she walked in. Yeah, big time. Yeah, and even then, because she was still going through treatment, and she's fine now, but just because she was going through treatment, it was like, should you be coming in?
Yeah.
We still don't know if we should be letting you in the flat,
Yeah.
even though they're saying it's all right.
and you're frightened you're going to be the one that kills them.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah. Yep.
We only Jen's gran was in with sepsis, so it wasn't COVID, and the only reason they let us in was because they said she wasn't going to see the night out. So we went in. Now, as it turns out, she beat the sepsis. She recovered from it, didn't die. Went to a rehabilitation centre, and one of the members of staff brought COVID in, and she died from that.
Oh shit!
Do you know where I'm at the moment? Do you know what really does me in is that at the end of conversations like this, it's always nice to go, but that, you know, we'll look forward now. And I realised over the past couple of months that I have not been able to do that for a long time.
No.
And it's done me in a bit.
I have built in things, short-term things to look forward to, because long-term plans you can't count on anymore. You know,
a chocolate bar in the evening.
Here's the story that always gets me, and I never forget this. I'm going to say his name wrong. Ishmael Abdul Wahab from Brixton, 13-year-old boy, died in hospital with COVID on his own. His family weren't allowed to be with him. 13-year-old boy died on his own.
No.
He died without any family members close by due to the highly infectious nature. And then I think, if I've got the story correct, no one went to the funeral. Here we go. No family at the funeral of 13-year-old coronavirus victim after siblings developed symptoms. The same kid died on his own and had a funeral on his own. Imagine doing that to our babies. These are our babies. Same age as my boy.
It was a flipping horror show. And those Nightingale hospitals, I could see myself being taken off to one of those and not
God, yeah, they were horrific.
I remember Helena was going to be reporting from one, and I said, please don't tell me. I don't want to hear anything about it. I don't want to know. In the end, of course, they didn't really end up getting used, but I said, I don't want to know what it looks like, I don't want to know anything about it.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
shit, man. A lot of, it's, I don't think we've really been hit with it yet about how much of a mind screw this has all been.
Yeah. And I do think, and I know you've said this before, Iain, but our kids are going to be dealing with extra stuff, and we haven't even imagined yet as a result of this.
Relationships, sex, intimacy, all of those things, man.
Do you know what I'm noticing with mine? And I don't know whether it's their age, but I suspect it's what we've been through for the last couple of years, is that if given the option, they'll stay in the house. Yeah. If I say, do you want to go out and do that? Nah. They've got a little bit, they'd rather stay home.
I told you we went. It would have been late last year. We went to when the lockdown ended. One of the lockdowns. We went to the goat centre. Me, two boys, and I think we had one of Kim's friends over. And this toddler kept coming running over and looking at the boys.
Yeah.
And the dad would go, sorry, and I said, it's all right if he wants to hang out with us, he can hang out. And he said, this is the first time he's ever been out of the house and seen another kid. Born in lockdown.
Mad.
First time he'd been out of the house and seen another kid. That's
they are apparently quite babies stare anyway, don't they? But this lot are particularly scary because they've not been able to learn from those early visual cues, right? So babies look to us for expressions and engagement, and and so if you've only ever seen your parents and everyone else has been this or a computer screen, my God, what does that do to you?
People will trot out the line. I heard this the other day. Kids are so resilient. And then you think, well, yeah, but why are there so many adults in therapy? From what happened as kids. There's a couple of things in chat. Akiko says, I still can't go back to my country for 3 years. I would love to hear more about that, please, Akiko. Graham says, my mum had a medical emergency in Spain. I couldn't get there to see her. Thankfully, the Spanish doctors were brilliant. She was okay, but that was hard. Cherie says, not being able to have my mum or Mike to come and see me in intensive care last year was awful. The staff were amazing. It was so lonely. Daniel says, my neighbour's son passed away in early 2021. They had to decide whether his grandma or grandpa could go to the funeral. I can't begin to imagine making that decision. And Jay says, I lost my granddad in the peak of the pandemic. I couldn't even go to his funeral. Had to watch it over a webcam.
This is it. I mean, you think about how many stories have been said in the chat and on this Zoom call, how many stories, and that's just us. And then you think about the whole country and how many stories, are out there like that. And then you think, okay, let's never, ever, ever let's never forget about the party stuff, because there is a reason why so many people are pissed off with it.
Yeah.
I know, there's other stuff going on at the moment, but that can't just be brushed under the carpet.
I don't think it's about politics. I think it's about trust in authority, and also respect for the authority you have. That is absolutely unbelievable to me, how those people could have been in all the meetings that the ones they turned up for, and still behaved like that. It's absolutely, it's despicable. I absolutely hate that behavior, and I don't hate anything, but that I will never forgive. And you think about all the little things, right, that mean a hell of a lot to people in their lifetimes. The women that had to give birth wearing masks on their own.
God.
And all the people as well who've not been able to get their cancer treatment or their medical treatment because the hospital's been overwhelmed, or because it's not been safe, or because of this. There will be a significant number of people who got very ill, if not died.
Things got missed.
Things got missed because everything was put on hold. For this.
And I've always said like when we've spoken about it, that there's people out there with not as bad stories, and there's people out there that haven't experienced death in their family over it, or haven't been through what some of the stories that have been said, and it doesn't matter, because they've had their own battles with it. Even the smallest thing, like even the fear of going outside, like that's enough to really stick in your head.
Let me phrase this. I have been talking to several people who are terrified to go outside. Terrified to go outside, and rightfully so. You can completely understand it, whether they lost anyone or not. The fear of going out is unreal. Let me tell one fun story. That I have got fun memories, and that thing when we were allowed an hour out a day to do exercise, and me and the boys, we'd go out for a walk for an hour. Except one day I thought, we're going to try a slightly different route. There's a footpath around there that I've never been along. That should probably be an hour. It took us 3.5 hours to get home because we just got lost. We were following this footpath, and it got to a point where it's like, it's got to be easier to just keep going forward than we can't turn back now. And there was one bit, we're in this field, and we came out of this field and we turned left and we walked for about 45 minutes. And then suddenly we found ourselves coming out of that field again at exactly the same point. And we just walked around in a massive, massive circle. And you try and keep the kids entertained for 3.5 hours when they're really exhausted. So that was where I set them the challenge of learning AJ Tracy song live and direct. So I bet them £10 they couldn't learn the words to that. And we just kept singing Watermelon Sugar by Harry Styles. So there are some wonderful things, some funny things, and some
the Joe Wicks moments.
Joe Wicks, fucking Joe Wicks.
My kids started out really enthusiastic, and then their training styles differed wildly. I'd have the eldest one really going for it, and she's all legs and arms. She's really tall and gangly, whereas the little one was like doing the most half-hearted lunges you've ever seen in your life. And I thought, that's my kid.
Joe, I've forgotten about that. Joe Wicks was a huge part of it for a few months.
Do you know what? It was having those little anchor points in your day kept us going.
Who was the guy that did the spoof Joe Wicks?
Oh,
the Spider-Man outfit. Did you ever see that?
Spin one out. Spin one out. Let me find it.
Spin one out.
It was so good. We should play that.
Let me find it.
It was one of the guys who Los Hermanos Cubanos. He does. They pretend to be sort of Cuban.
The Cuban Brothers.
The Cuban Brothers. Yeah, he's one of them.
Let me
spin one out. Spin one out. It was great.
I'll try and find one.
It was finding little anchor points, right, to mark the time, because days were endless, and it was like one long flipping Sunday afternoon, wasn't it, for such a long time. But also having, God, do you remember how quickly we got fed up of family quizzes?
Oh God, like the first one. I mean, they were absolutely shocking. I tell you what, our savior was Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing was great.
A game that let you look forward to the next day. Yeah, that's what it was for us.
Yeah.
So instead of waking up and thinking, "Oh my God, what's on the news?" we were waking up going, "Oh, the shops got bigger."
Yeah, I didn't. You bastard.
I didn't have the benefit of Animal Crossing because you could only have one island on each console, and we've only got one Switch. It was Jen's, and I wasn't allowed to touch it.
Oh,
you weren't allowed to go on it.
No, I'd ruin her island. Is what she said.
I didn't do any of those, but here's the thing: I did one family quiz, and it was the first time that it was my dad's side of the family, and I hadn't spoken to them since the funeral, and before that I hadn't spoken to them for 15 years. And my sister said, "Oh, we're doing a family quiz, but you probably won't want to go." And I went, "Do you know what? Actually, I'd like to go." And I saw my aunts and my cousins for the first time in years. It was beautiful.
Did you do the "I can't hear you" prank when you first joined that Zoom call? Did you do that?
Of course I did.
The kid's dad started having they started having pub nights. Him and his friends, he started having these pub nights where they would all be sitting at home with their various drinks on Zoom, and then it started to get themed so that one of them would take control of the theme every week, and he would be in charge of. There'd be a ring of the doorbell, and you would open the door, and there'd be a box of like themed snacks. So sometimes it was like Spanish night, sometimes it was. Sometimes it'd be Bombay Mix and Cobras. It was great.
Here's one of the Joe Wicks tributes.
Oh, I love this song. Take that. Right, the Spidey Plank. Someone called me a Spidey Plank yesterday. I'm a plank. That's a tough one.
Even I'm surprised that's not me.
Oh no, broke his arm falling off his bike, remember?
We've got 500,000 people all dress up Fridays. I've heard the silly sausage, I fractured my hand, didn't I? Anyway, Nicky, shout out. Okay, Cash and Carter in the Cotswolds. How you doing, boys? Tallulah in Oran and Edinburgh. I love you. And of course, Crosby. Alright, Davies. It's Seb and Frankie.
He's got tiny nipples as well, Ian. Sure, this is
next
you.
one, Floor is Lava.
Floor is Lava.
I just started watching episode 2 of Naked Attraction, and he's got tiny nipples. Turns out it's a thing.
I did yesterday, but this time, of course, I'll come as Spider-Man.
Spider-Man?
I invented it. So, floor is lava, we're going to spin one off, okay? So, start off, right up here, the arms up there, spin one off. Spin one off. And spin it off. That's it, keep going. Keep the energy up, spin it. Spin one off. Spin it. Keep it going, floor is lava. Floor is lava. The floor is lava.
Do you hear a kid laughing?
No, but seriously, as soon as I found out he drove a
Something's playing. I
Honda.
don't know what's playing. Is that? There we go. It's gone.
Spin one off.
Spin one off. Oh man, alive! What a time! What a time!
And then you had Stephen Page doing his weekly concerts. That was a great thing.
Well, do you remember when we did Rabbit Hole shows?
Rabbit Hole.
We did it, and I was sat here, and then there was a screen, and I went, but we have a special guest, and the screen dropped, and it was you sat
with a
6
mask
feet
on.
away with the mask on. Of course, I hate to break it to you guys. Of course, we'd hugged each other when she came in. I think I can say that now. We were breaking the rules a little bit. But we had to see the screen.
This is it. And I mean, I've said this to you guys before, but it's the truth is that a big part of that stuff was tuning into your show as well in the evenings. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Big time for us, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. We did not watch anything else for that whole time. And I know you were doing more than your contractual hours, but you definitely kept us going in our house.
When we were doing the talk radio stuff, that I found that actually very exciting. Because I remember the first few shows, we had to fight so hard to be able to do the show from home. We asked to do it from home. They said no. They said we're following government guidelines. And so the minute, I remember I was picking my kids up and Boris Johnson announced that it was recommended to work from home. So I texted my boss saying, we're doing the show from home tonight. No, you're not. So it's government guidelines, mate. And it kind of got a bit tense. And in the end, they let us do it. But we only had one. We had a Yeti mic, and we would sit here and we had our knees touching. And then after about a week of that, I had an old desk in the shed, and I went and got that, and I cleaned that up, and we built a studio in the middle of the room, man. And it was the most. It was so exciting having that there. I mean, it was terrifying and stuff, but we made it really comfortable, and it was. It
felt like being in some sort of resistance movement, during a war, didn't it? We had that big old wooden table and the microphones, and we were trying to talk to a world that had locked down. Knowing that there would be
Tap in the mic. Are we on? Are we on? Can you hear us out there?
Come in London. It was like that. It felt like that. And we knew that everyone was at home and everyone was feeling the same. And what did you say, Ian? That I was Gracie Fields and you were.
Oh,
We were just trying to keep the home fires burning, you know.
Who was I? What was his name? Not Tommy Trinder.
George Formby.
No, oh yeah, maybe Formby.
Arthur Askey.
Arthur Askey, that was it. Arthur Askey. It was, you know.
It gave us something to concentrate on outside the terror. You know.
Yeah, but
thank you.
I used to divide my day up into Hamiltons. I literally. If you looked at, no, the Broadway hit musical, David.
Oh right, okay, sorry. I just thought you just added just.
But there's only one Hamilton, right?
Yeah, but I just kept listening to it on repeat.
Right,
so, and it's like 3 hours long.
I watched
that and a Lady and the Tramp jigsaw.
I sank into a real depression, and I watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Like I watched like the first 4 seasons of it, and it's quite funny, but it's not that good, but it's quite funny.
It's easy watching.
It's easy watching. And I just kept watching that. I'd watched like 5, 6, 7 in a row because it just switched my brain off.
It was Tiger King and the Eurovision musical movie.
Oh, that was good. That was good.
Tiger King, Superstore. I watched the whole of Superstore. Community, watched all of Community.
Yeah.
The Leftovers, all of that. It was a series after a series after a series. I've watched all 63 episodes of Tailspin on Disney Plus. I'm on episode 63 at the moment.
That's time well spent, sir.
Exactly. You can't just keep listening to Hamilton. You've got to also finish Disney Plus.
It's got to just dash an episode of Tailspin in there as well. Why not?
It has been. I'm looking forward to 20 years' time reading the book, seeing the movie. I'm looking forward to seeing the movie of this.
How do you turn it into a movie though? It's so boring. Like honestly, I've been thinking about this. Musical would be good, but I'm thinking if you're doing like a proper drama of it, like what do you even focus on? Like how do you do it? Because at the time I was thinking this feels like a movie. Someone's going to make a movie of all of this. It's going to happen, but like, what are they going to do? Just stay at home? Okay.
Just watch Contagion. I mean, if you think about it, there was places where there was a lot going on. So, you do all the hospital stuff, you do the PPE procuring, you do, all of that malarkey.
But there was that drama, wasn't there, with Sheridan Smith, which was
that's
really good.
I couldn't watch that. That was too close.
Yeah, it was really, really good.
So kind of bleak with the ending. I mean, it was
it was a little bit on it.
Yeah, but
it's got to be
pandemic, isn't it?
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, listen. Let's. I'm going to thank you both for joining us. Jim, you look like you're about to say something.
Yeah, I was just going to say, just calling back to you were saying you wish you kept a diary. You've got recordings of all of your thoughts on your YouTube channel.
This is true.
How did you do that?
That's such a good point.
Oh yeah.
Because you talked about it on every single bloody show.
Did you do that? Did you do that?
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So you've got all of that. Not me. I haven't been stalking you. That's not what this is.
I don't know if you know this, but it was all recorded, Ian.
You've got one of those mind recorders. Oh God! But
the batteries would wear out with yours if you had one of those.
Imagine if like all recorded data from this period gets erased, right? Except for our shows. That's all they've got. Because we didn't really talk about it on the Talk Radio show.
Can I steal that for my pitch, please?
Yes,
Thank you.
Can. You certainly can.
Well, I'll tell you this, right? Our bonus show is where we talk about the COVID stuff, right, on our podcast.
Yeah.
And there's if you've not heard it, Ian, listen to the March one where we're first really properly talking about it from 2020.
Oh,
and
okay,
Matt says, I'm really excited about it all because it's just non-stop breaking news. It's just really exciting, isn't it?
God,
and we're just going, no, it's not. This is going to be horrendous. Like,
I get that though. It was thrilling because I remember hearing about it and thinking, it's just going to be another SARS and a bird flu. They always make a big old fuss about it, and then 50 people die, and that's it. The thing that got it for me was when we finished our show one night, and I've forgotten his name. The guy after us. Why have I forgotten his name? Daryl Morris came in with a disinfectant and squirted everything, and he's a sensible bloke, and he squirted the desk and he squirted the keyboard and the mouse, and I thought, shit, this might actually be something. And then I went out, I couldn't buy disinfectant wipes anywhere.
Tell you what I noticed at work.
Yep.
The hand sanitizer things on the wall before anyone actually said anything was happening.
Oh yeah.
Well, they were putting them up.
Yeah. and they'd had people in with COVID in that studio,
and not told us.
And we kicked off. I fucking kicked off about that
because there was only one studio, right? Everyone's talking into the same mic and using the same headphones for the most part. And we were battling to stay at home. You know, can we do this from home? No, everything's fine. Hang on a minute. The hand sanitizers on the wall that have appeared. What's that?
Gentlemen.
Sorry, just the other thing I was going to say.
Sorry, David, you can't go until Jim goes. So you have to keep waving for this entire point.
It's Jenna's 40th birthday on Friday.
Spin one out. Sorry, go on. Stop waving. Stop it. You're going to explode.
I'm going to go. I'll see you later. I love you. Later. Bye.
Oh, by the way, thank you for putting that clip up of you as a child saying, yeah, mate. Yeah.
David Turner.
Yeah, mate.
Because it turns out you're not doing a thing. That's how you are.
That's how I am. That's how I've always been. And that's how I'll always be. Good night, everyone.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye, David Turner.
Go on. It's Jenna's 40th birthday.
On Friday.
Yeah.
And I think it's a bit of a COVID thing. She cannot think of a single thing she wants. So if anybody in chat's got any ideas, recommendations, then just please, let me know. Because she deserves to be spoiled. But I mean, we are taking her on a massive 19-night Disney holiday, so there's that. But she's had a new iPad.
Has she got a birthday girl badge?
Well, I mean, she's going to wear one every day in Disney, and then random people will be saying happy birthday to her. And she always does how do they know my name? And it's literally written on her badge.
Everybody, why don't more people do this? Go into a restaurant, and when someone gets up to go to the toilet, say to the waiter, it's his birthday. It's his birthday. Can we do anything? Yeah.
My dad did that to my brother in TGI's. It was Jen's birthday.
They sing, don't they, in TGI?
Yeah, cake with a candle in.
And he knew that Jen would not stand for it, and so they sang to my brother instead. And my dad went, "That's for you, Jen."
A proxy song.
Love it. All right, Jimbo.
Thank you.
Bye. Stay safe.
Bye.
Stay safe. A little bit of COVID reminiscence in. Then I've just found the German Big Brother where they're told, and then we'll move on from COVID. It's this one. So this is, let me just drag this over here. Let me share this screen. So this is German Big Brother. And, oh God, it's so annoying having to do this. Put that there.
That's the H3 podcast with Ethan Klein.
What is?
That guy. That guy's Ethan Klein.
Who is he? Is he?
Oh, are they going to look at it on their podcast?
Oh, I thought this was the German, hang on.
No, they're Americans.
Big Brother.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Why can't we find the clip? I've seen it. Why can't we find the clip where they're told about it? I thought that was it.
No, mate.
Big Brother, right. German Big Brother told about COVID. Here we go. No.
Was that not on the Now This one?
No. We looked at that one before. This is...
Big Brother. Life in Big Brother. I missed it.
We would have seen it on TV.
Yeah, we would have seen it behind
There's someone in the audience.
That's true. So I thought.
It's like we're
Yeah. This is Canadians.
Guys react to that. But I don't know
this
where
is
it
Germany.
is. So
That was the Canadians. Either that or I've suddenly been able to speak German.
The audience.
Yeah, I think it's weird.
Yeah.
But...
Maybe they don't
So
trust
strange.
us.
We're living in a.
What is going on? Why can't... I've seen it. Oh, damn it. Oh, well. Oh, well. If someone can find it and post the link, that would be pretty awesome. What is this? Go away. What are you doing there? If someone can find it, that would be awesome. But otherwise, that's not so... that's not the most important thing in the world right now. Shall we... I tell you what. Let's talk about kind of what we're possibly thinking about in terms of Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
So we're taking April off. And some people have gone, "Oh, you're so lazy."
Not many, though.
We're not taking April off. still doing college work, still doing placement, still doing our other jobs. I don't think I'm teaching actually in that. So, but it kind of covers. I've realised that any spare time I might have had, it's the Easter holidays, so I'll have the kids.
Yeah, I'd forgotten about that too.
So there's that. So we're still working really, really hard actually, but we're going to take, as I'm sure you know, Patreon off for a month. So if you've signed up now, you got basically 2 months of the price of one. Yeah. You get access to,
and it'll all still be active, won't it? So if you want to go in there and catch up with it, because there's loads and loads of stuff in there. There's the extra podcast as well if you're on that tier. So you don't have to, it doesn't have to be this stuff. It could be the other stuff. So there's loads and loads in there. And I know a lot of the complaints that we've had in the past have been that there's too much stuff to keep up with. So this is your chance to catch up.
So I'm just sorting something out. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you for timing Roger out. That is perfect. So April is off from doing this, but we will be putting out no radio anywhere either. We'll be putting out 2 45-minute podcasts thereabouts a week, but there'll be old ones that will be behind the paywall. I think that's still the plan.
Yeah.
Then when we come back, we kind of want to do things a little bit differently. And I think one of the things to do is to acknowledge that we're at the beginning of a huge price hike in terms of the cost of living. And that it is it's going to be so expensive. Everything is expensive now. I'm not turning the heating on in my house. That's not even a joke.
I've noticed the shopping has been creeping up for a while. And fuel, of course, is outrageous at the moment. And it's only going to get worse.
So we kind of want to make it a little bit easier for you, hopefully to temptate you to stay on board. So kind of where me and Catherine haven't really had a big conversation about it. I've had some ideas and we spoke very briefly. But in my head, Catherine, we keep the $6.66 and we keep the £10 and the £20 and the £35. We keep those tiers in case people feel so inclined. A couple of people have already paid the money for their April subs, right?
And I know a lot of people are saying they intend to put it into PayPal just to make sure that we still get some money. And that's great, but we don't expect that. And we're hugely grateful for it.
So I suggest we keep those tiers as is, but we make the $4.99 tier. We make that, there's no 45-minute best of podcast. You just get this, everything you get for $6.66, you will now get for $4.99.
Yeah.
Does that sound? I mean, we're going to lose quite a few £100, but I kind of think it might encourage a few more people to stay on. And I think it would be remiss of us not to acknowledge that that things are really, really tight. And I think it would be kind of arrogant for us to carry on going, $6.66 plus VAT.
It's the price of a few coffees. We won't be having coffees.
Yeah. And so and I think it is a significant difference. So I think the $4.99 becomes, you get what you now get for the $6.66. The $6.66 and the £10 and the £20, they stay. But we'll message everyone several times so they know what's going on, so no one is short-changed. And then someone pointed out that have I got this right? That I can't remember the exact, if you have a tier at, is it 15? No, hang on, 16.66 with the VAT, that becomes £20.
Is that right?
I think so. I think 16.66 plus VAT is £20. So the £20 tier would be reduced to 16.66, and that would be £20.
Right, but they would still end up paying £20.
No, but they don't pay £20 now. They pay £24 now.
Right. Okay, I gotcha.
Because of the VAT.
Right.
So you either reduce it to 16.66, so it's £20 in total, or you reduce it to £15. I can't do the maths on the. Harsh is going, yup. Thanks, Harsh. So it'll be something
Harsh,
like
maybe
that.
we should bring you in on this because you're the maths man.
So everything you get for the 20, you'd get for either the 15 or the 16.66. Tony, I'm being told those figures check out. Thank you so much, guys. That is appreciated. But also, I would like to kind of change the content a bit and just take the pressure off a little bit. So at the moment, for £20, you get like an extra show, which we need to schedule, an extra podcast, and a Zoom meeting. I propose, and let's call it the £20 tier. I propose that the £20, you get everything that you get in the tiers below, And instead, and I'm keen to hear your feedback, dear listener, you get 2 Zoom meetings a month. There's no extra show. There's no extra podcast. Instead, you get 2 1-hour Zoom meetings a month, excuse me. Yeah, I think that's that. I was thinking about maybe you get a Radio Anywhere podcast early or something, but that's perhaps a little bit too complicated. I've got something in my eye. So I think that would be a change. I also think that I'm not sure if I'm going to carry on Radio Anywhere, because we make a little bit of money from podcasts through Acast. But did you see the amount it was this month?
Yeah,
it's gone down. I mean, I know maybe I missed a couple or something, but
yeah,
I think I've got chili in my eye. But
the thing is, they're not 40 days, are they? Cycle, they're like a 60 day or something. So it's actually quite tricky to see what that was.
It is tricky. So we'll see what it is. But part of me is thinking of knocking Radio Anywhere on the head. Part of me is thinking that as the thing everything kind of shrinks down.
Here's my suggestion.
Yes, sir.
Keep that in the ether.
Yeah.
And let's have April to have a breather from it.
Yeah.
And make a decision then, because I think that we're both fried.
I really enjoyed the Radio Anywhere shows this week. Last night was
they've been really good.
And I can't, if it was one or the other, if it was the Patreon stuff or the Radio Anywhere, that would be wonderful. Doing both, and also I do feel like I'm kidding myself that I've got a fucking radio job, and it's like that. What's that Fisher Price podcast set for white men?
Yes.
Have you seen that? There's a really funny SNL video. What's his name? John. What's the
John Mert?
Yeah.
From the Sack Lunch Bunch.
Yeah. Anyways,
that was another one from COVID.
Yeah.
Times.
It was. It's an advert for Fisher Price. John Mulaney, Fisher Price podcast recording kit for white men.
Yeah.
It is very, very funny. And Jimbo, you're right. We're not making any decisions. We're just kind of putting this out there. And Tony says use April to take a breather and don't spend the whole month trying. You're absolutely right. No. We're just putting this out there. So Radio Anywhere might get knocked on the head, or maybe it goes down to 1. I don't really know. I've given up taking advertising for it. So Visionary says, I still think you're onto something with Radio Anywhere. It's good, but what's the point? No one listens. Harsh says, can we get into some online gaming again, perhaps? No, because no one ever... Harsh, I'll play online games with you any time, my friend. You know that. Tell me what you want to play and I'll play it. So we're not going to include that as part of the package. Pete says, you keep coming away from the Radio Anywhere shows going, that was the best show I've done in ages. Also, it's the biggest audience. It doesn't know. The numbers have really been, it's last night, including Twitch and the people watching, it was about 320. So the shows are great, but what is the point of doing the shows if it's taken up time and it's not monetizing? I'm kind of at the stage where I don't want to create for the sake of creating now. I feel like
you haven't got the energy to do that. It's not even about necessarily the monetary nature of it, although that helps, but they've only got so much energy and you've got other commitments.
I feel like I'm done making stuff for the sake of isn't 320 still more than you get for the Twitch shows? But what's the point? Yeah, exactly. But
it's
320. Should be 420, guys. You know what I mean? But what's the point? Fall Guys was fun, but we would always say, right, we're going to play this game, and like 3 people would turn up, so that's gone. But also, I'm kind of thinking of doing, maybe we do something different with these shows, right? Where one show remains the late night alternative, but then the second, and is behind a paywall, is almost entirely behind a paywall. And then the second show is on Twitch. And this is the idea I got in my head at the moment, but I think about it, I go off it a little bit, so I'm not totally sure. I really enjoyed watching, commentating over the I'm a Celebrity stuff the other day. So part of me thought, I've got the whole series on DVD up there. They give you a DVD, thanks a lot. They also give you tens of thousands of pounds, so, And I thought, well, I wonder if you could do a series where you do it one show a week, where you sit down and you kind of watch a bit of an episode and talk about it. I thought, well, that would get an audience, but it's one idea stretched a little bit too thin. So then I thought, and we talked about doing a podcast like this ages ago. So a show on Twitch where it's tentatively looking at a different reality TV show every week. You call it Back to Reality. And you'd watch like the first episode of The Apprentice. You'd watch an episode of The Family. You'd watch a little bit of Paddington Green. You'd watch one of My I'm a Celebrities. You'd watch, if you could find it, there was a show on Channel 5 called Back to Reality. And I'm the only person that remembers it.
I remember that.
Go on, tell me about it.
Wasn't it a load of reality TV stars put back in a reality show?
Yeah, they're put inside a house, inside a studio, hosted by Richard Bacon. And it was as boring as hell.
Right.
It was dumb. So you'd watch that. So kind of, I have this idea that you do what this show would be behind a paywall for the Patreons. The other show, which is loosely hinged on watching a different reality show each week, would be on Twitch for the general public.
Yeah.
And it would be a loose hook that you would be hanging things on. We'd still be fanning about. We'd still be going off on tangents. But I like the idea of having a theme, however wafer thin that theme is. I like the idea of having a theme.
Yeah.
And I think that would make things easier. We've been doing some great shows like this, but I think sometimes it's really hard doing a show like this. It's really hard doing a show like this and keeping it fresh and interesting.
All right. And lay my cards on the table. Here's the thing. I don't want to be moaning about vague life problems that I can't tell you about. And sometimes we do fall back on, sharing things. And a lot of what's going on in my life at the moment isn't entirely my story. So I can't. And also the new job I'm doing, I can't tell you about. So it's that stuff, I need to have more boundaries, and I've always been quite careful with mine, but I could do with having something completely separate from that kind of approach, just so I can have a little bit of my life that I'm not living on a screen. Does that sound wanky?
Doesn't sound wanky at all. Basic listen-alongs would fit into that. So I guess what I'm kind of saying is there's a potential for less shows.
Fewer shows.
So if we did less shows, because this is doing the radio anywhere, doing this, I'm finding I'm creatively moribund at the moment, and I'm struggling to cut. And luckily the shows this week have all been really, really good. And you're right, quality over quantity. And I think I'm a spent creative force. And I can't do that thing of just pulling ideas out there like I used to be able to do on talk radio, partly because of the brain fug of the last 2 years.
Yeah. But also, let's remember that, we do need this break. And anything can and might change from this plan once we've had a little bit of breathing space. But I think it would be nice to have something that's, just a bit of a laugh.
So
you don't need to hear us moaning. I bet you moan to yourselves enough all day.
That's what we are considering.
We want to do a bit less in the hope that what we do will be better.
Yeah. Oh, look, here we go. Back to Reality. Oh, fuck. Let's watch a little bit of Back to Reality. It's a real thing. It's the title is Jade Goody and Rick Waller Argument.
Well, I want to hear that, but just let me, in actual reality, it's bedtime here, and I just need to make sure that people are moving towards their beds. Won't be a second. Hang on.
Send those kids to bed. I got to do, this is always a...
Oh,
we go. That was Catherine farting. Did you hear that?
girls? Yeah? Are you upstairs in bed? No. Where's the other one? Okay, good. Thank you very much.
So look at these names.
That's all right.
So this was a show with loads of reality TV stars put into a house.
All right, no, I'll take it when I turn it on.
Then it was the dullest reality TV show of all time. It was so boring. I know the team that made it because they were also people behind Rise.
Anyway, thanks, girls.
So here's what we've got. It does sound like you're farting when you do it, Catherine. So you got Mo from driving school, Nasty Nick, Ricardo. Do you remember Ricardo?
Yes, I do.
Ricardo and I used to flirt outrageously. He was on Rise all the time, and he had a crush on me, and I thought he was kind of cute, and we would flirt outrageously. Rick Waller, Sarah. I don't know who Sarah would be. It was pre-Sarah.
Was Ricardo on Big Brother?
No, he was in the salon.
Oh,
maybe
that
it is
one.
Sarah Harding because she was from. I don't know. Uri Geller. So let's have a little look-see.
7. For Nick, 08. For Ricardo, 09. If Rick's your favourite, 10. For Sarah, from Joe Millionaire, it's 11.
From Joe Millionaire.
Is she the token American?
Sarah, from Joe Millionaire, it's 11. Or if you want to keep Uri in the mansion, 12.
It wasn't a mansion, it was a house inside a studio.
Right,
Look.
that's the telephones. Now here's the twist.
Yes, if you're voting by text, you could be on the chance of becoming the first ever viewer to stay here and become a reality star yourself. You've got to be over 18 to enter. All you've got to do, add the word yes after the name of your favourite when you text your vote to enter our free draw.
They really were trying to, I know the producer of this, they really were trying to make magic out of a turd.
You could be here.
It's very strange seeing Tess Daly not wearing some sort of ball gown.
If they're still here. Yeah. So all you got to do is send the name of your favourite.
Okay.
She's still wearing an extra belt.
Coming up, Jade is on the warpath.
Oh my God, I'd like to fly kick him in his extension airhead head.
Whoa. See you in a couple of minutes.
Flat as. There we go.
Right. So that little explosion from Jade was before the Big Brother one that kind of ruined her life.
It's going to get too overcrowded and we'll just be...
Rick Waller, I can tell you, I have worked with Rick Waller. He is a prick.
Oh, is he?
Arrogant. I'm going to be honest, I didn't really get on with Jade either. I didn't really get on with Jade, but let's move on from that. Rick Waller was an arrogant piece of shit. Really, really was.
But was it all defence mechanism, that?
Who knows? Doesn't matter. He was an arsehole.
Martin, he's taking over again.
No, it's just, well, I don't mind. I don't mind. It's just if all of us are here, we're just going to work against each other. And I don't mind doing it, you know what I mean?
But Maureen once doing it though, wasn't she? Quite content doing it.
Okay.
I mean, it's a brilliant set.
My say was that I could see that Yuri
was cooking his own food.
Was getting frustrated with Maureen. Maureen was getting frustrated with Yuri. So I offered to say, right,
indoor
okay,
smoking.
Put your feet up. You've been working hard today. Let me do it.
Yeah, I'm not being funny, but I find that quite because you just sat there and said, I can do all three things at once. I like to do things.
I was trying to help.
That's
them.
not helping. That's taking over.
Okay, fine.
Agree to disagree.
Has he got? What's he doing? Is he getting a fag out? Or has he got a phone? Oh, it's his microphone pack.
It's got off the rails.
Very big house in the country.
Look at them all smoking away.
Yeah, is it weird?
Bad time in the house.
Well, I'm sorry, but if I just won't bother offering anymore, okay?
10 minutes later, Rick was in tears.
If I made him cry. Oh, I ain't said anything horrible. I've just said, you know. What did you say at the bottom? Nothing.
Apparently, the only reason I do things is to try and get people to like me. Now, I don't give a if people in here genuinely like me or not. To be honest, I've got plenty of friends out there. I can walk out tonight. I can...
It's so. This would have been about 2003, I think this was.
Yeah.
It's so slow, huh?
They show that. They'll never show a taunting.
He's like a nan, really, right? And I don't like people who disrespect number because it just reminds me of my nan. No, you're not. It reminds me of my nan. And I think Maureen was cooking sausages while Rick was sitting inside his mum's belly. So I think Maureen is more than capable. What my argument was is why do 3 things at once and take over rather than...
Because I offered, because I'm that kind of person.
Offering's fine, Rick, because that's sharing, that's teamwork. But doing 3 things at once is not, is it?
I offered to lighten the load on people who'd been working hard.
He was only trying to be helpful. If you misread it or whatever in any way, he apologises for that.
Oh, that's
Craig.
Peacemaker. Charity.
Sade.
What was his song? Oh, at this time of year, friends and lovers
should
at
be
this
near.
time of year, friends and lovers should be near. Spread the laughter and the cheer.
Oh, he had a little stab, didn't he?
He wasn't trying to steal the
I'm not out to win brownie points. I do not care.
You have not been funny, but you're putting words into my mouth now, aren't you? Did you say I can do 3 things at once?
I said it would have been possible for me to do it.
Don't lie to me, because that really winds me up. You said it to me, so why lie to me? Did you say to me, Jade, I could do 3 things at once?
Why you make? Yes, I did. But why?
Right,
why are you making? Why are you making me out to be a villain?
Well, you're not a villain, Rick.
Then why are you? Why are you doing this?
I'm not making it to be a villain.
I'm trying
I
to.
asked you a question. You said you like mucking in. That's what you said. You said you like helping. Everyone likes helping.
Jesus.
You said that. You said that.
doing in the future with all
because
his
if I
we all took in, he went to help the
It's
kitchen.
Craig.
He wasn't needed at that point. He wasn't needed.
Exactly, Craig. I'm not. You know, he's saying how it started. I've not cooked yet.
Jesus Christ! I mean,
I know, innit? Why do you want to watch this?
Oh, flip it! Well, no one did. That was it. No one watched it. It was a huge disaster. Oh, hang on, where have we gone there? What's happened there? It was a huge disaster. No one wanted anything to do with it.
It turns out that that being yourself isn't enough to be.
Well, they thought. I think it was Channel 5. They thought they thought it was easy.
Yeah.
You get all of the most famous people from all of these programs and drop them into a building. It's going to be dynamite.
But those
boring.
programs
No
are
one
so
watched it.
heavily edited. There are so, if you watch the whole thing, it'd be bloody boring. Do you remember when there used to be a feed from the Big Brother house? And people sometimes
it used
people
to be
used to have
live.
that on in the background.
Oh,
yeah.
it would. With the first series, it was on. You'd have it on. I remember having it on, and it was because it was exciting. It was on.
Then you started to realise that sometimes they'd have conversations that they wouldn't be able to put in.
Oh,
and then they started
bird
putting
sound.
the airplane noises over the top, or birds, yeah.
Let's have a little bit of something before we're going to finish in a bit because I'm a bit tired. And I got college. I got a mock exam tomorrow. That's what I've got. I've got a mock exam.
It's just occurred to me that the fast track now to fame isn't just being yourself and being, unguarded on television. It's being edgy.
Yeah. Let's have a little take your pick. Let's have a little classic take your pick to ease us. There's some great shirts here. We're having this. There are some great shirts. We'll have a little bit of this just to ease us into bedtime for beddy buys, guys and girls. There we go. Take your pick. Let's have a little look. I don't think we started this one. Here we go.
On Take Your Pick tonight, your chance to win a luxury duvet and soft pillows you'll never want to leave.
What's she holding? What's she holding? Has she broken a cat's neck?
It's not a real cat, is it? If it is a real cat, it's not very well.
It can't. What is that?
On Take Your Pick tonight, your chance to win a luxury duvet and soft pillows you'll never want to leave.
Gosh. Are we supposed to be grateful for winning luxury duvet and soft pillows? We're not even being told that we get the duvet cover. It's just the duvet and soft pillows.
A stunning party dress by top design.
That's a dress! I thought it was curtains!
Oh.
Oh my God, I thought it was curtains!
Wow.
This is a dress! Tony says it's a quarto. What's a quarto? I don't know what.
Stunning party dress by top designer Zandra Rhodes.
Oh, Zandra Rhodes.
every power tool the DIY enthusiast is dreamed of owning.
That guy. He must know what he's doing. He has no sleeves.
Oh, can I message you something?
Yeah.
Okay, make sure your microphone's turned off, please.
Okay.
Oh, Lino, thank you. Thank you for sending me all the episodes of Back to Reality. Thanks, Lino. It's appreciated. Just sent Catherine a private message. Point taken?
Wow. There's a point. Yowza.
Yowzers.
The very latest stills camera with all the lenses you'll ever need.
Oh, in the days before digital ruined it.
Yeah, yeah. Look at that. But look, they've set up that like living room with all this. Just look at all that stereo equipment. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a 6-stack system.
And those shelves do not look
no, not strong
enough to take all that equipment.
Yeah.
You'll ever need. A state-of-the-art sound system that doesn't miss.
There we go. There's the stereo I was pointing to.
Oh yeah. There's new people in the room now.
Yeah. There's a video camera, but you don't get that. What's that CD? That looks like Duran Duran.
No, it looks like Beverly Craven.
Oh, do you know what?
Promise me you'll wait
for me.
Oh no, it isn't.
What is that CD, guys? What is that CD?
Oh, it might be actually.
Let's have a little look at Beverly Craven CD.
Promise me.
Beverly Craven. Oh, Catherine Boyle.
What do you reckon?
You are absolutely spot on. Can you see that?
Yeah.
There we go. Is that, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I know
that?
that because I bought that on single.
It's that. That's well done. That's made my day. I love these little. This is my favourite part of watching it. Is the little detective. Richard says, I remember the good old days when Lena would send mucky pictures. Who knew it could get even more lowbrow than that? Yes, correct. All right.
That doesn't miss a note or a beat.
What do you mean used to send mucky pictures?
Treasure chest containing £500. And you can also win the latest CD from Marcel Marceau.
Ah, because he's a mime artist.
No, that'll be a weekend in Paris, won't it?
Cushion. And a prickly pear. And tonight's star prize, a holiday for 2 in the Bahamas with flights on Virgin Atlantic and 2 weeks soaking up sun and sea in an island paradise where...
Hang on, haven't we seen this footage before for something else?
I think it's just standard holiday
with flights
footage.
on Virgin Atlantic and 2 weeks soaking up sun and sea in an island paradise where every day is carnival. And now here's the man with the cash and the keys, Des O'Connor.
Big crowd in tonight. Very, very upbeat audience.
Hello, Des.
What the fuck is he wearing?
Oh, I don't know. Do you know what he looks like? You know when the 7 dwarfs dressed up as the prince and they had a man's clothes on, but there's like 4 blokes in there.
Yeah, he's doing that. Hey, look at him. What the fudge?
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening and welcome to Take Your Pick now.
He says welcome.
Thank you. Good evening and welcome.
There's a name for that style of dressing. Lino will know it. It's Italian and it's spezzato.
Spezzato.
I think is the word, and it means non-matching.
Were chosen from this audience right
So next
here
time
in the
someone
studio
says that you're wearing clashing clothes, say no, it's spezzato.
just before we came on air, right?
Here we go.
Here we go, the audience.
Eyes down for a full house. Okay, we've got Michael Ball. Rugby tops were big.
Yeah,
Rugby
I had one.
Tops were big.
I had a Benetton one. Front left there is Titchmarsh.
Which one here?
Yeah, stripy shirt.
Okay, there's Alan Caddick. This is the Peter
My
Kay
Auntie Lena.
character, right? Okay. Both of these women have got what we used to call milk bottle glasses.
Yeah.
It's quite a young audience.
Yeah, I think they're mostly staff.
Okay.
right, now they have a chance to win some of these wonderful prizes. But before they can get to the prizes, they've got to play the yes-no game with me. I'll ask them questions for 1 minute. They must not say yes. They must not say no. They mustn't nod or shake their head. And we're
Unless they're an attractive woman. Okay.
very
Yeah.
strict
Or an
about
old
those
lady that I can
rules.
flirt with.
And if they get through the top 4, the ones who score the longest and last the longest, will go on to play Take Your Pick for the big prizes. We will give £1 for every second any of the contestants last. But if they get it wrong, they get a gong. And here's the girl with the golden gong, Jodie Wilson.
Jodie Wilson.
Jodie Wilson. That song just went, Jodie Wilson is my next wife.
Can I do it as well? Nice.
That's what I like at work, being told to spin round for people's
I used to
entertainment.
ask you to do it every night and you refused. I don't.
I can spin on that.
Jodie, you're looking very happy this week.
I am, Diz. I got my first fan letter. From an 8-year-old.
I've got an 8-year-old fan letter.
That laugh was disproportionate to the gag.
I've got an 8-year-old fan letter.
It was from her.
James points out, James says he is better at the rules than Lionel Blair. Remember Lionel Blair on, was it Play Your Song Now?
It's not that funny, madam. It is framed and in the loo. I'm very proud of that. It's nice to get a fan letter. Got a letter from one of my fans last week.
Here we go.
And next week, I hope to get another one.
What? I got a letter from one of my fans last week, and next week I hope to get another one. I don't get the joke.
It would be funny if he said like next year.
I don't get the joke. What is that?
I think, but if you pause and do that face, it looks like a joke.
The other one. All right, let's play the yes-no game. Go get the contestant. Thank you, Jodie.
I want to see some jeans.
All right, here's the first contestant to play yes-no.
Here we go.
Go this way. Yeah, got to play it this way. Right, Jane, have to get your face in the crowd. What's your name, Jane?
6 seconds. What do you reckon, Kath?
I think she's toast.
My name's Jane.
Is there a Y in there?
There isn't.
There's no Y.
Never has
Just
been.
J. Never has been.
Never.
I got a feeling you're going to be a difficult one to beat. What do you do for a living?
I work in an insurance company.
An insurance company. Which are they?
Equity and law.
What do you do in there?
I'm a commission clerk.
Is that a good job?
It isn't really.
Not very good?
Yeah. Des, are you going to mention the fact that she's shaking her head on every single
Ask
question?
her if she likes swimming.
Richard says it has the cadence of a joke. You're right, it did.
It was doing the song of a joke, but it didn't have the lyric.
Yeah, let's find out if this woman likes swimming.
Not at all.
Not at all. What about, are you married?
Not at the moment.
Not at the
Not at the moment.
What about boyfriends? You got a boyfriend?
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment.
Either.
What kind of man are you looking for? Don't answer that. What do you do for
a woman?
What do you do for hobbies?
For hobbies, I enter competitions.
Into competitions? Have you won any?
I've won one this week to win a trip to Sandown.
Sandown? What, the races?
That's correct, the horse races.
Yeah, don't nod your head, because you nearly nod your head. You won't nod your head, will you?
I certainly won't.
Do you like racing? Horses? Do you bet?
Nice!
Oh,
She
he
lasted
got
longer
over
than we
that
thought.
one. 42. That line of questioning, though, very presumptive.
And the next contestant,
Presumptive.
Oh,
Oh, I see.
First of all, listen to the sexy whistles this guy's gets. Then
Well,
watch
because
as
they
he
think
does
it's
the-
Fabio.
He does the bend at the knees and he gives the V's. This is sex.
And the next contestant right in here, please.
Bend at the knees, there's the V's. He does that.
Quiet down, ladies. Come on. Serious.
All right, quieten down. This is serious.
Right in here, please.
Not a piece of meat, guys. Come on. What was it Dealey used to say? I'm not a tourist attraction.
I reckon 8 seconds, this guy. What do we reckon in the chat? What do you reckon, Catherine?
I think 18.
So I'm going 8, you're going 18. Let's wait for a bit to see what the chat says. Is that Gerard Depardieu? Tommy Wiseau?
I think it's our mate from the Wonder Stuff.
15 seconds. 5, 3. Oh, no one's got high hopes of this guy. I think he is all style over substance. Let's go in.
Here. Oh, that's a good name. Martin, how nice to see you, Martin. I'm delighted to see you. I love the hairstyle. Is that something that you wanted to grow it long like that?
It's an accident more than anything
It's
else.
an accident, is it?
Started off as a bet.
Started off as a bet?
Certainly did.
You nodded your head. You won't nod your head again, will
I
you?
will not.
I don't want you to nod your head, because if you nod your head, I have to put you out. What do you do for a living?
I work with the London Air Traffic Control Centre.
Air traffic control?
That's correct.
It's a very difficult job, isn't it?
It would be.
There's a lot going on. The hand, that suit jacket is just, it feels like it's too short. Everything is wrong about this.
If I was a controller.
But you're not a controller.
I am not a controller.
You're not a controller.
I am not.
What about the boys who control? Are they allowed to drink or do anything like that? I assume they don't. What about sport? Let me ask you about sport. Do you like to play football?
Sometimes.
Are you a good footballer?
Very bad.
What about your favourite team? Do you have a favourite team? Maybe you're not interested in football at all. Let me ask you about other sports. What's your favourite sport?
I'm going to say this. He's doing quite well, but I think it's because Des is doing terribly.
Des is not warmed up yet. No. This is only Series 1, so it's still early days.
Have you got a girlfriend?
I have a wife.
You have a wife?
I have.
Do you have a girlfriend?
I didn't ask you that.
I didn't ask you that. You have just got a wife, and she's a lovely wife?
She's a beautiful wife.
Have you children?
No children.
Oh, you dickhead. So it did well, though.
He
did. Very well. Everyone's got a look in this one, haven't they?
Yeah, they've made some very specific choices.
12 seconds. What do you reckon?
Well, everyone's been going quite well because Des is so shite this time. Reckon
Des is not good. Series 1, Episode 3. He ain't good.
I reckon she might get to about 30.
Jim says Des was in turmoil there.
Hello, you're
20. I reckon 15. Big Silla, yes.
Beryl.
That's right.
I can never spell that name. Is that with a Y or without a Y?
With a Y.
With a Y.
It is.
It is.
It is.
I can tell you're a little bit edgy. Don't just relax. Just feel good. Look me in the eyes. Are you glad you're here, Beryl?
I certainly am.
You might win a prize. Would you like to win a prize?
I would like to win a prize.
Well, I'd like you to win a prize. What do you do for a living?
I'm a shop assistant.
Shop assistant?
I am.
Where's that?
Sainsbury's.
Sainsbury's?
It is.
What counter?
Frozen food.
Frozen food. Do you sell a lot of frozen food? Let me ask you, are you a married lady? Do you have children?
I am.
How many children have you?
She said yes. She said yes.
He missed it because he's on the barrage.
Are you a married lady? Yeah, I am.
Do you sell a lot of frozen food? Let me ask you, are you a married lady? Do you have children?
I am.
How many children have you got?
2.
2.
I have.
Boys or girls?
Boys.
One boy, one girl? Sorry to confuse you. You got 2 boys, yes?
2 boys.
What about dressmaking? Do you do dress?
That was his chance to get her. That moment there. This is. Watch this, guys. You're going to learn how to play the yes/no game. Up until then, she is focusing and she's there. There's that bit where she turns her head away. She's out of the game. Yeah. She's out of the game. Watch.
Sorry to confuse you. You got 2 boys, yes? 2 boys. What about dressmaking? Do you do dressmaking? What are your hobbies?
I like knitting.
You like knitting? Are you good at knitting?
I am.
Okay, what about the kids? What do you hope they do when they grow up? What would you like them to be?
They are grown up.
They are grown up. Are they over 16?
Certainly are.
Are they? Well, I wouldn't believe that looking at you. What about your choice in music?
I don't think she is. I think he's rubbish.
Well,
I think he's rubbish tonight.
Like music? Let me ask you about holidays. Where do you want to go on holiday?
I'd like to go to Hawaii.
You'd like to go to Hawaii?
I would.
Would you like to...
Unbelievable. He fucked that up.
Des, what's going on with you, Des? That looks like Bob Hope from Emmerdale.
No, it looks like my good friend Dougie Anderson.
It doesn't like Dougie Anderson.
It's Dougie.
Not quite tall enough, but it's...
80s Dougie.
Right, you are Paul. Paul, and that's a tough act to follow, Paul. She's done very well. I wish you good luck here. You're from, where are you from?
I'm from Northern Ireland originally.
Northern Ireland. That's Desmond, you called me. How nice. Not many people call me Desmond. That's my real name. What do you do for...
Excuse me, could you be quiet in the back, please?
He says it's tea time. Yoshi, come on.
We're nearly done, Yoshi. A little bit more. We're nearly done.
I work for Southern Council Environmental Health.
What kind of work do you do there?
I'm an administrative officer.
Do you have sporting activities? Do you do that? What about theatre? Let me ask you about theatre. Do you like theatre? Do you like music? Would you like to go be in the world of...
Des is awful tonight.
He's taken up all the time.
I think Des is, may have had a little bit of that, because this is terrible.
I like all those things, Des.
Do you?
That is correct.
That is correct.
Which one would you want to start with first?
I'll start with
He's taking a piss.
Who are your favourite musicians?
I like Vivaldi, classical.
Vivaldi,
but I
so you like Nigel
Morrison.
Kennedy. Van Morrison.
Van Morrison
Didn't he
from
do a duet?
Belfast.
He did a duet with Cliff Richard, didn't he? I think recently. What
He
about
did
racing?
one with a famous singer like yourself.
Oh, thank you. I like this fella. Let's talk about racing. What about racing?
What the fuck was that? Ties.
Because they've both got crap ties.
Oh, thank you. I like this fella. Let's talk about racing.
Ties.
What about racing? Let's talk about...
Next time I'm on TV, if it ever happens again, in the middle I'm going to go, ties.
And you have to touch ties.
You're interested in racing?
I love racing.
Who's the best national hunt jockey?
The best national hunt jockey was John Frank.
Do you think that I could have ever been a national hunt jockey?
No one. No one. Is that a no? No, he said there's no one like him. I would have gonged that bell.
No, I don't think that's valid.
Hang on.
The best national horse jockey was John Frank.
Do you think that I...
No one liked him.
There was no one like him.
No one liked him, he said.
No, he said there was no one like him.
Who's the best national hunt jockey?
The best national horse jockey was John Frank.
Do you think that I could have ever been a national hunt jockey? So I actually did ride on the flat. You wouldn't believe it. Don't look at me. Just give me yes or no. Yes!
Des is going to... This money is going to come out of Des's wages. Because he's costing ITV a lot tonight. He's off the ball.
Wonderful.
Not one person's got out, have they?
One. Here we go. That's a great.
Hello, Denise. It's a good night tonight. The contestants are beating me. Do you think you're going to beat me?
I think so.
You think you are?
I think
Where
so.
are you from?
I'm from Birkenhead.
From Birkenhead.
Look at that crunchy perm, everyone.
From Birkenhead. One more and you have to go.
I
So
won't.
don't do it. Oh, Denise. Is that a name that you like? Do you like Denise? What about your children? What
Do you like Denise or do you like the toes?
are your kids' names? Do you have children?
I have 3 children.
3 children. A boy or a girl?
2 girls and a boy.
2 girls and a boy. You nearly nodded your head. One more and it has to go. You won't nod your head, will you?
I will not.
What about your theatrical interests? Do you like films, movies? What do you like?
Films, movies.
Who's your favourite actor?
Al Pacino.
Al Pacino. What's his latest film? Do you know?
No.
No.
Oh, Denise.
Geezer. Absolute geezer. Absolute geezer.
You reckon he's going to be Cockney? He's Southern.
I think he's Northern.
Go on, let's have a look.
Hi. This is Steve. Hiya, Steve. Is that spelled with a V or a F?
It's a PH.
Oh, PH. I thought you were going to say with an S.
One of your lot.
You're right.
To it. Okay, it's nice to have you. I like that hair. Is that natural as a perm? I hope you don't mind me asking.
That's natural.
It's natural. You just got sweet curly hair. I like that look.
You just got sweet curly
Curly hair.
Did he say sweet curly hair?
I like that hair. Is that natural as a perm? I hope you don't mind me asking.
That's natural.
It's natural. You just got sweet curly hair. I like
Sweet curly hair.
You all right? Is he all right?
There's so many lines in this today. Ties. Sweet curly hair. Give me some. I've got to write that down. Sweet. That's going to be the title of my book about having a vasectomy.
Sweet curly hair. Ugh.
Sweet curly hair and ties. Okay, here we go.
I like that look. Listen, Steve, what do you do for a living?
I'm a postman.
Postman. You nodded your head. You won't nod your head again, will you? If you nod your head, I've got to knock you out, Steve. What's your favourite football team?
I'll knock you out.
Chelsea.
You fucking wanger.
You've been nearly nodding. You sort of bit your tongue. Oh, you're still in there. Let's keep. I like the smile. What about the Chelsea? You think they're going to win the league this year?
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt. Do you go away with them on holidays? Do you travel like when they're on away games?
Sometimes.
What about girlfriends? You got a girlfriend?
I have.
You have a girlfriend. Is she here with you tonight?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? You should know whether she's here or not. Is she watching at home? What about children?
Has he casually got one thumb in his jean pocket?
I hope so. Yes, he has.
Look at that player.
What about children? Are you married? Well, you wouldn't be.
I'm not.
No, I mean, of course you're not. Do you hope to get married soon?
Next year.
Next year. Next year. Where would you go on a honeymoon if you had anywhere in the choice to go?
California.
California. You like California? What part of California?
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. Have you ever been to Los Angeles?
I haven't.
Let me ask you about sport apart from football. If you could be any star in the world of sport, what would you be?
Awful.
Dad is having an absolute nightmare.
Maybe he's had a row with, what's her name, Judy?
Jodie Wilson.
Maybe he's had a row with Jodie. I don't know. Something is off. Something is really off. That was very sub Des.
Wonderful. That's really good, Steve. That's excellent. This way. All right.
This lot are having a great time, though. Are they watching the same show?
Is that the Face Man? It's either the Face Man or Scott Bakula from Quantum Leap. She's having a good old little root around. He looks a bit like Kaufman. Who does he look? He looks like someone. God, there's so many faces. I mean,
look, beardy towards the back there.
Michael McDonald. So many wonderful, wonderful people.
And then there's Tanned You in the middle.
There's who?
Tanned You in the middle. Go back.
This way. All right.
What
there? No, back. Behind the woman in the glasses.
It is me. But, I mean, what colour is this?
I don't know.
That's That's a sunbed, right? Because that's before we had bottles.
Yeah, it's got to be.
There's me, time traveller.
We're going to check the scores, and the top four, and it was good scoring tonight. They really did well. The top four were going to play for the big prizes on Take Your Pick. Join us after the break. OK, Jodie, right after the break.
Jodie's fine. I'm a bit worried about you, Desmond. She's going to give him the hairdryer treatment in the break.
We're gonna watch one, and then we're gonna call it a night. So let's have one of these. And don't forget, Friday's show is now tomorrow night at 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
tomorrow night
because of the COVID.
Because of the Rona.
That just reminded me when we got it. Me shouting to my neighbour as I put the bins out, "Stay back, John! I've got the Rona."
Welcome back. And I'm going to play Take Your Pick. Will Beryl win the bed? Will Martin win the whooping?
Oh, I remember when we were talking about our COVID memories. There's a tweet. With Danny
hang on a minute.
Baker
Just a sec.
That's trouble.
Yoko climbing up my dressing gown.
There was a tweet that Danny Baker sent quite early on, right? When it was all, I don't know if we'd even had lockdown, I'm not sure. And he tweeted, "Have we all got it?" And I remember reading that and thinking, shit, mate, and it kind of just summed up the chaos and the complete lack of knowledge of what was going on. What's happening there with your cat? Troubles?
They really are very dissatisfied with the service round here.
Tell them we got 5 minutes and then they're
5
minutes,
minutes,
fed.
please.
Here we go.
And then
Right, let's
I'll
watch
give
this.
you more biscuits than you know what to do with.
We should find out as Jodie brings on the first contestant to play Take Your Pick.
Look at that. She's like, get out of this shop.
I don't want to do it.
Get out of this shop.
She's got her knife to his back.
60 seconds.
60 seconds, right, Stephen. You are, thank you, Jodie. You're, well, there's two or three of them really got me on the hop tonight. OK, Stephen, you can say yes and no as much as you want. Just kind of relax here. Okay. This may be your chance to get a goodie for you. Look, I don't want to be personal, Steve, but the earrings, is that a new thing? Is that fashion for everybody?
I think so, yeah. I just do it a bit different.
Do you think I should go into earrings?
Do you think I should go to earrings? He's not in control, is he? Do you think I should go to earrings?
Definitely, yeah.
Well, my idea of earrings, whenever I watch movies, I watch the old black and white movies, and the girl always, when she's getting hammered, always seems to slide the earrings off. Do fellas do that when things are happening?
No, look at it.
I can just see you going, hello, darling.
I work with some funny chaps.
Oh! We got a gay joke, guys. Let's zone in on the gay joke.
I can just see you going, hello, darling.
Because he had no reason to go to gay. He was talking about heterosexual sex.
I work with some funny chaps. Yeah.
Well, what do you work at then?
I'm a
I work with a load of benders. That's what I'm saying, Des. Why did it have to go there?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Wait, dropping little letters through the door?
I know what it was. Here's what he did there. Des was making a suggestion there that he was less than manly, and so he deflected it onto imaginary gay men.
Oh, I don't think he was making it he was less than manly. Or
Yeah,
maybe
he was.
But then,
women do this in films. Right. Do you do that?
But now Des is about to describe what a postman does, right? And we just missed this. Listen to what Des thinks a postman does.
Hello, darling.
I work with some funny chaps. Yeah.
Well, what do you work at then?
I'm a postman.
Oh, yeah. Wait, dropping little letters through the door?
Dropping little letters through the door? Like,
only little letters.
Well, you're a postman. What, you dropping little letters through the door? What does that mean?
He's got sweet curly hair and he drops little letters through the door.
You're a postman. Dropping little letters through... It brings his arm up, dropping little letters through the door.
He's not a bloody postman, Squirrel Nutkins.
Well, what do you work at then?
I'm a postman.
Oh, yeah. Wait, dropping little letters through the door?
Yeah, I'm a pixie postman.
Dropping little letters through the door?
I'll do that sometimes, yeah. I drive most of the time.
Well, how do you drive and get letters through the letterbox?
If there's too many, I don't really have much time to put through the letterbox. I just sling them out as I go by.
Oh, that could offend.
He sounds like a joke. I don't think he's joking.
Honest about it, isn't it? All right, yeah. What about pop music?
Rock music, heavy rock music.
Yeah, I mean, explain. How would you describe heavy metal to me? Because I'm only into sort of thin tin.
I don't know.
That describes it beautifully as far as I'm concerned. However, everybody's, one man's meat is another man's poisson, as they say. And we're going to play Take Your Pick now. Let me explain what happens. I'm going to ask you 4 questions. You have to get 3 right. If you get it right, you can choose a key. I'm going to try and buy the key off you for money, okay? You can take that money.
Des is slurring and he's wildly out of control tonight. I'm surprised this is still on YouTube. This should have been pulled.
You can open the box. There are 10 boxes, 1 to 10. There's also another box.
Jim says epic bants. It really didn't go anywhere at all, that conversation.
I'm going to try and buy the box off you for money.
10 boxes, 1 to 10, 10 and
13. Now that could be a whizzer, it could be a fizzer. It's up to you to choose, should that be your choice. But for the benefit of the viewers at home, this is the key that will also open box 13 tonight.
6.
Oh,
I don't think Nelly's here, but if Nelly was, he'd be telling us to take that.
Don't rush in here. If you had a bassoon, would you blow it, throw it, or go to the doctors?
I think I'll blow it.
You would blow it, of course you would.
He's up.
Come on.
You give me the wrong answer, you could have well blown it anyway. What is the Christian name of Mrs. Ronald Reagan?
Nancy.
Nancy?
It is Nancy. Television. What was the name of the Spanish waiter in the comedy series 40 Towers?
Manuel?
Manuel, yay! There are the keys. Take the pick, Stephen.
Number 10.
Number what?
Number 10.
Number 10.
What is Willow doing?
She's grumbling and walking along the headboard. I think the hints are being dropped quite heavily now.
Does she do that when you're asleep?
No.
Oh.
She doesn't tend to come in. Obviously, she can't believe she's had to come. I've had to come up here and tell you.
Right, we're nearly there.
Well, it was Mrs. Thatcher's, wasn't it? That's a major number, number 10. I'll give you 10.
Mark says, still laughing at dropping little letters through the door. It was that motion as well. Why would the post box, the letter box is up here. Dropping little letters through the door. What does that even mean?
£10 for number 10. I'll give you £20, Stephen. 30. No. 40. No. 50.
This is series 1, so the money is not quite as big as it is in series 2 onwards.
£80, Stephen. I'll give you £100, Stephen.
I'll give you £100, Stephen.
£100.
There's me. There's me there. And look, oh, look, Catherine's in front of me. There she is. I'm fascinated. I'm just fascinated.
Are you wearing like an American cop's gun holster?
Yeah, I am. Yeah,
Look,
I am. Because I'm travelling through time. Yeah, I can see it. I'm travelling through time. I've got to be careful.
£100 £120. All right, he's turned down £120, and he's going to open the key to box number 10.
He's turned down £120, and he's going to open the key to box number 10.
He's turned down £120, and he's going to open the key to box number 10.
He's turned down £120, and he's going to open the key to box 10.
Someone spiked Dez's break time brew.
Des is tripping, man.
Okie doke. Let's hope that it's a big number.
Again, pushing him. Why does this man need pushing across the floor?
A heck of a good prize. I don't know what you could have picked.
Listen to that sentence he says, right? From it's a heck of a big number, right?
Open the key to box number 10. Okie doke.
Oh, and he says it's a big number. From the rant, the insane rant from it's a big number on.
Let's hope that it's a big number, number 10. It's not Downing Street, but it could be a heck of a good prize. I don't know what you could have picked.
The big number 10.
It's not Downing Street, but it could be a heck of a big prize. What the fuck is he talking about?
Right, if you just turn around, Stevie. Now let's take a little stroll down here. You turn down £110, and you...
£110.
£110. A complete hi-fi system working.
Yeah, rock and roll! Rock and roll! Fucking rock and fucking roll!
What do you think he's going to play on it? I reckon Heart.
He's Def Leppard.
Yes.
No, I bet he's Iron Maiden. He's Iron Maiden through and through. Get fucked, Des. Nuts as he walks out. Can't take the prize off him. Oh, we're going to leave it there, dear viewer. It's bedtime for Iain. It's dinner time for the cats. Where are my cats? Are they Cats. Here we go. Breakfast.
Mine don't respond to that call.
Mine don't either.
Yes, they do. They're behind you.
There. Right.
Do you know what mine
There's a
responds
head
to?
there. Hello, it's breakfast.
Should I tell you what my tea time noise is?
Yeah.
Or any food?
There we go. On that bombshell, dear viewer, thank you so much for your support. We'll see you tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Be there or be elsewhere.